following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
Don't know, Mike. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, everybody. Me, the Macho Man. You're listening to Mike Trash, TrashTalkingRadio.com. The best in the business. Say it, the Macho King.
Wrestling fans throughout radio land, listen to Trash Talking Radio at TrashTalkingRadio.com. Every Tuesday from 7 to 10 o'clock, you hear guys like myself, the you Ganon Giant Kamala. And that's my story.
You say mere words to describe that Trash Talking Radio show from 7 to whenever we get done is like using a screwdriver to cut roast beef. This is Lunafa Sean, the other half of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. That's the trashy one and the loony one together forever.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ivan Koloff. I'm here to tell you about Mike Talking Trash. With the Trash 7 to 10. Tuesday night, you got to listen in. It's the best around, the best in town. Alright, hey, this is the Animal. One half of the world is taking the road warriors. What you do? If you know what's good for you, listen to Trash Talking Radio or else.
Everybody, you're watching Trash Talking Radio. This is Hulk Hogan. Hulk, what do you got to say about Trash Talking?
Well, I gotta say that I just bought Trash Talking Radio. You're out of the picture, dude. This is my show, and you better watch because what you gonna do when Hulk Hogan's brand new Trash Talking Radio runs wild on you?
This is the Vital Idol, and you're listening to Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10 on TrashTalkingRadio.com. And remember this, when the Vital Idol tells you, it's got to be true. And when it's on the internet, it's got to be real. It's Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10. I am the top of pop, the king of swing, the international rock star way above par, the host with the most, Mr. Tuesday Night, the Vital Idol, Classy Mike Trash, and thank you very much.
It is Trash Talking Radio, and guess what? I'm not even in the picture for some reason. Once again, that I've disappeared. Why did I disappear again?
You're just a figure of your imagination.
I'm not here. Oh, notice how I'm not here. Well, that's weird. My camera went off again. That's really strange. This camera's been acting weird. I might have to switch to another camera. I can't switch right now because I'm stuck in a situation that I can't do it. I can do it while we're talking. I guess this is going to be how we intro the show. How about, wait. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the host of the show, Ashley. Hey! Hey!
Yay!
All right, since you're on screen, you can talk while I'm fixing my computer. I guess I'm not here. Maybe I'm tardy. I don't feel tardy.
Guess I was the only one that showed up on time last week.
I guess so. I'm here in spirit.
Guess I got the memo.
I don't know. That must be what's wrong with this camera. I remember I changed cameras last week, and I kept losing the video, and I lost the video again, and I never touched anything, so it wasn't working when I got here.
Right.
So now it comes on, and there I am. Okay, I'll be on in a few seconds. I just got to do some quick alterations so you can why don't you talk about your Thanksgiving? That would be cool.
My Thanksgiving was pretty well. I actually went up and saw Kylie and had was with her and
I would have thought
her dad.
I would have thought that you had a shitty Thanksgiving.
We won't talk about that.
Okay, I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. That's that would be lying if I said I was sorry. Anyway, go ahead. Talk about what.
No, I mean, yeah, had a fun time. We actually, after we had our meal and everything, we got to sit and talk, and then they got out their Christmas tree. And I helped decorate their Christmas tree.
Oh, nice.
And Kylie put up her Christmas decorations on the tree. Each year they put angel wings on the tree, and Kylie, we got to videotape hers. I couldn't do it because I ended up bawling my eyes out.
Why?
Because the last person that she dedicated it to was my dad.
Ah, yeah. Well, that would do it.
So I was quite emotional that day on Thanksgiving. Anyways, on the way up, I started crying, just thinking about that Thanksgiving. This Thanksgiving was the first without him. And then while I was eating, I had I have a necklace with his ashes on, in it, and his class ring and a wedding band of his, on it. And then I have a small little urn that says my dad, my hero, my angel.
Wow.
And I have ashes in that of his. So I had that with me, sitting right in front of me while I ate, and of course, as I'm eating, I have to stop eating because I start crying again. And then when Kylie did that, I couldn't. I had to have my boyfriend Antoine do the video because I couldn't do it because it just
there we are.
It touched so it hit so so good, and of course. Kylie did come over and give me hugs. Says, "Mommy, I love you. You're the best mommy ever." And I'm like, "Thanks, Kai." But I knew she was going to do it. I knew that he was one of the people that she was going to do it for. So it was just all of my emotions coming back to me, of course. Which
that's understandable. I mean, that when my dad died, I was 25, and I was a mess for a good 8 years after that.
Well,
because he was the strength in my family, and he helped me become who I am. So
as of Sunday, I had not been out to his gravesite yet since the beginning of September when we had his services. I hadn't been out there. And partly because I was avoiding it because I didn't want to do that initial first one. I don't know. I don't want to say dreaded because I don't think that's the right word, but just that first one. I was avoiding it. For whatever reason it was, I was avoiding it. Well, my mom had asked me where it was, if I knew where it was, and I said, well, yes, but no, because it's a big cemetery. She goes, do you have a plot number? And I said, yes, and I gave it to her, and I told her if she had Find a Grave app, that it would, if you search under his name in the cemetery, and click on the plot, it would bring up directions, and it actually takes you right to the plot where it is.
That's cool.
And I mean, it has a bunch of graves. As long as somebody has made, what am I going to say, made a, make a page for the person that's deceased.
Okay.
So as long as that's made up, it'll take you right there. So after Antoine got off work on Saturday, or not Saturday, Sunday, him and I went out, and I did that initial first one, and it was hard, but we did it. You know, we stood there, got a couple pictures and, of course, cried some and, wished my dad a happy Thanksgiving. I had a few messages from family because I did tell them that I was going to go out. So I had a few messages from family, and so that I did tell him. And, right before I left, I kind of, kissed my fingers and put it on his grave and told him that I loved him and that I missed him myself. And then we carried on with the rest of our afternoon.
Well, that's good.
But I feel better now that I went out there and got that initial first one out. And I'm glad that he was able to go with me.
Okay. Sounds like all we did was we went to a restaurant.
Okay.
Jen's family decided to go to a restaurant this time, and I don't usually go to restaurants that have buffets because that's just not good for me. Not good. It doesn't do a body good. So we went and we had the buffet at the place, and it was pretty nice. I don't like buffets because it's too tempting to eat.
What was the place called?
Masters.
Okay.
It's a really it was good food. It was.
Never heard of that place. The only reason I asked, there was a buffet called Country. I think it was called Country Cupboard that. I want to say my ex-husband, I want to say his family would go to. So that's what we did one year for Thanksgiving with them. So.
I don't really like buffets because, like I said, I overeat and then I get sick, and this is not good for me.
I wear stretchy pants. That's what I wore on Thanksgiving. I wear stretchy pants just to make sure.
Women can do that and get away with it. Guys, we don't really get that opportunity. But all right. Well, all right. It's funny that this came up on this screen here.
Okay.
Because in this screen is the new guitarist I'm working with.
Ooh. Would
you like to guess which one it is, considering there's one guitarist in here? This guy here and I have been talking for the past week, and I like the guy. He played some stuff. He played me a lot of stuff. I played him a lot of stuff. He sounds pretty good.
Nice,
so,
good.
I mean, I haven't met him yet, but he's right down the street here.
No, well, that's good.
That's really good. I'd like that to be something that'll. But he likes some music I like, and I played some stuff that originals, and he played some originals. I liked his stuff. He liked my stuff. He's very versatile in the stuff that he plays.
Good.
And he reminds me of a guitarist I had many, many years ago.
Oh.
He reminds me a lot of Rich.
Okay, good.
But he's not Rich, but I mean, he reminds me of Rich. And so I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Good.
I really am looking forward to. I said that when I get back from New York, I'll be meeting him.
When do you go to New York?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why I'm frazzled, because my mind is set on New York. Everything I'm doing is about New York. And
when do you come back from New York?
Tuesday.
Okay.
I'll be here at about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And that means I'll be sleeping most of the day and hopefully having a show that night.
Okay.
So that's the goal. That's the word.
So text you
that's the planning.
Text you before I come.
Well, the thing is, there's two things that are problems. First off, when am I going to write the show? But that may not be a big deal, because a lot of times I don't write the show when I come back from one of the things. But it depends how much stuff we do. But
okay.
It looks like it's going to be a really good packed weekend. I mean, I'm going to meet Bobby Finero, who is one of my coaches.
Okay.
I'm going to see Keith Shockley this weekend, the one guy that worked with Public Enemy.
Okay.
I'm going to, I just got so much stuff. We're going to be packed. I'm going to try to see Bobby Rydell for the first time in 10 years, 15 years. Yeah. I hope to see him. And I mean, we just have a lot of stuff we're going to do, and it's going to be a crazy weekend.
Okay.
So, the photo shoot, I'm doing my photos on Friday. Going to have a meet and greet on Sunday. We're going to have some training stuff on Saturday. We're going to have a party Saturday night. I'm going to hang out with Keith Shockley and stuff. And I want to talk to him about some projects I got going.
Okay.
And there's a slight possibility, a really slight possibility, we're going to shoot the pilot this weekend.
Ooh.
It's a very short, I mean, I don't have a lot of time, but if I time it right, we're going to shoot it all on my iPhone.
Ooh.
And, oh, that reminds me. Oh, I do have it here. I just thought, do I have my phone?
My phone's right here.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if it all works out, we're going to shoot, I'm going to try to shoot the thing on the iPhone if it works out, because Sunday, Maggie's coming into town. We'll have already been there.
Right.
So Sunday night or Monday during the day would be the only time that we'll have to shoot it.
Right.
And if we shoot it, that would be, oh man, that would be such a big load off my mind. Because then if I shoot it, I edit it, get it ready, send it to the film festivals first of the year. This will be a new project, a new start, new beginning. That's the goal. I don't know if I can do it or not, but if I can just shoot the footage, then I can take my time and edit it. But I got to make sure I shoot all the footage.
Right.
I got to have more than enough footage.
Right.
But I'm up for it.
Sounds
I'm up
like
for
a
the
lot of
task.
fun.
It's going to be a lot of work and a lot of fun. But if I pull it off, it'll turn into something really good. This project is a lot easier to sell than Vital Idol.
Right.
So if I get this project out there in front of the people, I can hopefully sell this project as a series, and then I'll be established as a known commodity.
Right.
And then I can say, I got this other project. Here's what it's about. And then I'll explain to them in detail. Because if you don't, I mean, when I tell you what Vital Idol's about, it sounds okay. But when I tell you what it's really about, which takes a lot longer to tell you, that's when people really get it.
Right.
But the problem is you can't tell them that up front. You got to tell them the basics and then tell them, by the way, you know, and that's what my game plan is, to get in the door with this project, make this project successful, and use it to launch my other project. So, anyway.
Well, before we get too much into something, I got a question for you.
Hold on.
Okay.
Clear the screen here. Is anybody in there? Oh, there were a bunch of people. Now they're all gone.
Yeah.
Where y'all go? Get back here. Well, I mean, some of our regulars are on a plane right now.
Yeah.
So, a lot of the people that pay attention to what we're doing are going to be in New York with me.
Right.
All right.
But it doesn't mean they're not going to play it back and listen too. They can always do that.
Oh, they probably won't, because they're not going to have time.
Oh, true.
They're going to be. They're flying. Well, the one's flying from part of Washington to another part of Washington. Then she's meeting up with the other girl, and then they're staying there tonight. And then tomorrow morning, they're flying to New York. And the goal is for me to...
From Washington to New York?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's going to be a long flight.
It's a long flight. And then I'm going to be driving. I have an appointment at 1, and then I hopefully will be done at 3, and then I'm going to drive to New York from here as soon as that's all done.
Right.
So it's going to be fun.
Fun.
And when I say fun, I mean stressful. So, anyway.
Don't I like the stressful things, isn't it?
Oh, it's, I live with stress. So, anyway, what did you want to, do you have something to talk about?
I actually have a question.
Someone to talk about?
Yeah.
Talk about somebody in particular? No?
Well, in a way, it's about someone.
All right.
A couple people, actually. So, on Thanksgiving, I was asked a question, and well, it was a joke and a question. It was a joke. started out as a joke, but it ended up turning into something real. So, long story short, I'll cut to a point here. I've got a question for you.
I didn't do it. I promise. I've been so busy with New York, I've done nothing else.
So, I was asked when I was going to get married.
Okay. When are you going to get married?
That's a good question.
Oh, so you don't know. Oh, is that what you're going to ask me when you're going to get married? Okay, well, I can tell you that. I'll put on my Swami hat.
Got some time to figure that out yet. I mean, I'm not fully either engaged yet, but we have talked about it. He is going to pick out a ring very soon. He already planned on that, going with his brother to go pick out a ring. More so, hopefully, by the end of the year or beginning.
Well, the end of the year is right around the corner.
Or the beginning of next, or anyways, coming up. But normally you have your father walk you down the aisle.
Right.
Or, well, I don't. Hey, there's Marcia.
Oh, okay. I didn't expect her. Hey. Oh, yeah, you should expect her because she's not flying until tomorrow. Okay. Hi.
Hi, Marcia.
Anyway.
So, my dad just passed away in July, so I don't have him. And my grandfather passed away a few years prior to that.
Yes, I remember that.
I really don't fully have a male figure in my life but you. So would you do the honors and walk me down the aisle?
No. No, I mean, no. I would. Yes, I would be honored.
Thank you.
I thought I'd shock you with that, but your heart sunk, didn't it? Why? I guess that's you just explained why. I mean, there isn't much I wouldn't do for you.
Right.
You've been, ever since I've met you as a little girl, you were always very nice and of all your family, I think I always liked you best.
Of course.
Because you were always, you know, I always thought you were always the good kid. I mean, you know, I never understood anything anyone said about you.
Right.
Because I never saw any of that because you were always on your best behavior around me.
Right.
So I don't know if you were really like they said or if you were like what I said, but I always had a fondness for you because I always thought you were undervalued.
Right.
I mean, I've met two of your sisters. I met all three of them, but really only two. I only spent time with two of them.
And there's Christine. Made it to Seattle, riding the rails to Marcia.
All right. Isn't that that's a song by Ozzy Osbourne? I'm riding the rails to go to Marcia. Anyway, well, it's good that you were so. I thought you were flying. I guess she's taking a train.
I guess so.
I thought she was flying. Okay. I thought her arms were tired. So, yeah, that to me is a very special thing, and I'm sad that I'm the best you've got. My appearance fee will be discussed later.
Okay.
You'll have to speak with my management.
Okay. Sounds good.
I don't know who my management is. I don't have a manager, so I guess
I'm sure I can figure that out.
You'll figure it out, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that'd be kind of fun. I did walk a woman down the aisle about 2016. 2006. One of my fans loved this show back when she loved the show, and when it was a wrestling show, and then she asked me to walk her down the aisle, and I thought, I never did that. So I thought,
so you have practice already.
I do know how to do that.
All right.
I do know how to walk. I do know about aisles. I do know how to walk down the aisle. I did not have to dress up for hers, and I was about 400 pounds when I did it. It'll be a little easier now.
He doesn't want to dress up either.
Good man. I like him already. No, I like him too. I think he's a cool guy. To me, he's been pretty stand-up. You know,
like I said, we've had our moments, but I mean, we've also
you have not shown the greatest judgment at times,
right?
But I have no problems with him. I've had problems with some of your other people,
right?
But that's not my issue. So.
Exactly. Christine, you're gonna look good in the tux.
Yeah, you're gonna look good in the tux. I'm not. I'm just gonna wear this.
No, you have a tuxedo shirt.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, good. I'd love to wear that. That'll really make Christine unhappy if I get to wear that. I'd rather wear the Mike Trash tux jacket.
Okay.
Because that'll drive them all crazy. Especially since it don't fit anymore now that I'm half the size I used to be. I'm half the man I used to be. So, actually, I'm probably almost half the man because I was 468 and I'm now 260, or no, 236.
Okay, nice.
So I'm actually less than half the man I used to be. So that's kind of cool.
Well, I weigh more than that, so.
Hope you don't weigh more than the 468. That would be
no,
bad.
No.
But yeah, I can't wear my cool Mike Trash stuff anymore because it don't fit. So now I got to get new trash gear. So.
No, not that shirt and not that ugly white trash jacket.
See, she has no class at all because she doesn't like my tux jacket.
Of course I was the favorite. That's why I became Trash's babe.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, you know, this year's been really bad on the Trash fandom because we got anyway. Anyway, that was a big thing. Didn't expect that. So I got to get my composure now. All right. So anyway,
there's no date planned yet, obviously, but it's something that one thing I can say is now planned.
Yeah. Well, it's. I mean, it's cool. It's cool that that you guys have got you got something going. It's in the wheel. The wheels are in motion.
Right.
So, and hopefully it'll be slow motion for a little while.
Right.
Well, you can't do anything until.
So all these things are settled. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I can understand that. I'm in the same situation. So, anyway.
I've got papers that I got to print out.
What's with you women? You both have the same issue. Piece of paper stopping everything.
No, not my issue. I had them sent. He never signed them, and then my lawyer never filed them.
Well, that's the problem. You have a lawyer, and you didn't pay for a lawyer, so he didn't do his job.
Right.
And that's sad. Wow, Jimmy Carter's daughter. Wow, she has to be up there too.
Oh yeah.
Think about they were together for 77 years. When when he was in office, I was just in my 20s. So she's got to be around my age. I would think. That's weird to think of. Oh wow. She was so cool.
Christine says, "Ooh, just find something that actually fits because you are getting so small. Everything looks so big, and sometimes you look homeless. When you have to get out of a relationship to survive, there's always going to be a trail of paper.
Yes.
A paper trail leading right to divorce court. I agree."
See, I just don't even bother getting married anymore. I did that. I married my two, and they both are dead. So that tells you what happens to my wives.
Well, he would be my second, so, and I would be his second, so.
You got that right?
Mm-hmm.
My wives don't get out of it alive. So. Anyway, all right. Okay, so let's see here. What are we going to do? Okay, so I was talking about this guy here. This guy here is, he's a guitar player, and you can hear a little bit of music here.
I've been thinking a lot about the unimaginable situations families in Afghanistan, Syria, and other crisis areas are living through.
Okay, skip. Don't you look at him, he's mine.
Do you think that God can hear me when I speak softly to myself? Does he think that I'm crazy, just like everyone else?
So he's pretty good, and he's a lefty. He's a lefty.
Oh.
Look, that's not a mirror. He's actually. I said, "Are you a lefty?" He said, "Yeah." That's a unique thing because I haven't had any left-handed guys that I played with. So that makes it interesting too. So, and I'm going to take him up to my Wednesday night jams and hear him play with other people.
Yeah.
But the game plan is that we're going to do we're going to go out as cover band, but we're going to actually work on our originals. So the Uncle Sam band's going to go. And you got to hear the tribute song to Ken.
Nice.
Half of it anyway.
Right.
And what'd you think of it?
I really liked it. I really did.
It talks about his magical playing and all that stuff. It sends shivers up my spine. I don't know if I can sing it.
Where did you find him at?
Funny story. So he was, I think I had posted an ad about being a singer. And somebody posted against my ad saying if anybody's looking for a drummer on my ad. Instead of a new ad, he posted on my ad. He replied to that, to that other guy. And I replied to him saying, hey, this is my ad. You know, I didn't do that. No, I replied to him saying, hey, I do originals and I do things like, and I had posted some songs that I had done that are cover tunes.
Right.
And we talked and talked and talked. And he's a singer too, as you heard.
Right.
So he doesn't really need a singer. But we hit it off. We were talking about different things that we like to do, and I have things he needs, like I have a PA system.
Right.
He has things I need. He plays guitar. And actually, the band I'm in that I jam with on Wednesdays, we have a guitar player, but he's a rhythm guitar player, so he's not a lead guitar player. He plays lead.
Right.
And he plays very good lead.
Yeah.
That was acoustic he was playing, and he sounds pretty good in the acoustic.
Really.
And he actually sounds good singing. He sounds good. He doesn't need me.
Right.
But we hit it off because we have similar tastes. And he is only like 40.
Oh, wow.
And he was a really bad alcoholic. And he is 9 years sober. I think he is.
Wow, congrats to him.
Yeah, and he's very talented. So I really want to see this turn out to be good. When I get back from New York, I really, really want to see this work out. I really want to see him, I can tell he's got talent, and he says he's been playing since he was 5. So that's really cool. He reminds me of Rich, though. He reminds me a lot of Rich. So we'll see. It's really rough to find talented people.
Right.
The other. So yeah, this past week has been really weird. So you remember the band I was in for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
that I got kicked out for being too ambitious. Well, seems that after I got kicked out of the band, the guitarist left. Well, guess what? You don't just kick a guy out. Well, so I don't know if I don't know if I talked about this last week or not, but I don't remember when it happened. No, it happened. Oh, I didn't talk about this. So, okay. Thanksgiving Day, I'm getting ready to leave, and I get a message from the drummer of that band. Okay, the drummer, the bass player, and the guitar player were all the members of the band.
Right.
The bass player said, we took a vote to vote you out. Well, the guitar player said, well, I didn't vote you out. So I figured it was the drummer and the bass player. So 2 against 1. That's
yeah, right.
So I thought, it's sad. It happens. I mean, happens in every band. But that band was going really good. We had in 2 practices, 3 sets of music.
Oh, wow.
We could have played out within another 2 weeks.
Right.
Because we all knew the same song.
Right.
But because they kicked me out, they had to find another singer. Well, I found them another singer. Remember that? I don't know if you were here when I think you were here. You
yeah,
might,
I remember.
But I found them another singer because I'm a good guy.
Right.
I mean, some people think I'm a scumbag, but I'm a good guy overall. So I thought, okay, rather than me sit here and obsess over being fired from a band. I've never been fired from a band.
Right.
So instead of me being obsessed over it, which I was very obsessed over being fired because I don't like being fired. I don't like, because that's rejection, and I don't like rejection.
Right.
So I thought, okay, I'm going to get over this. I'm going to stop begging for my job back, and I'm going to give them another singer. So I gave them another singer. Well, apparently that didn't work out, and the guitar player left. Now they're in trouble. They have no guitar player or singer. I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that until I don't think I knew about that till Thanksgiving. Because then because the drummer told me. I said, what? He said, yeah, John left. I said, wow, I didn't know that. He said, yeah, he left right after you did. I said, well, I didn't really leave. I kind of got kicked out. He said, oh, he goes, well, I didn't know that. That meant the only one who wanted me out was the bass player. So the bass player sacrificed the band because of me. That sounds really weird. And he goes, well, I hope you're not mad at me. I said, why would I be mad at you?
Right.
He said, well, I thought that's why you left. I said, I didn't leave because I wanted to leave.
Right.
I left because he wanted me to go.
Yeah.
So he was the only one. The bass player was the only one that wanted me to go. They lost their band because of the bass player. Now, I was in the band. I made I selected the songs that we all agreed upon.
Right.
I put the set list together. I did all the work. How could I have been fired? Anyway, it didn't matter to me that I got fired at this point. But I'm thinking that really turns the whole thing around and makes me feel better about it.
Right.
Because I was really upset about losing my band. And so now with this thing, this guy sounds like he is reasonable. He sounds like a cool guy. He sounds like a good partner. I gave him songs that I wanted to do. I don't know if you ever heard the Starfish song.
The what?
The Starfish song. I don't. Let me see if I have it, because if I have it, you'll see why I want to do it.
Okay.
It's a freaking awesome song. It's a song that was on my second album. I don't know if I have music on this. I don't. I will have it next week if I remember. But the Starfish song is it sounds like a love song.
Okay.
It starts out like a love song. It goes, when I was young, whatever it was. Wait, I have it. I can't play it in here though, because this will suck. But anyway, so anyway, the whole situation is that he likes the songs I sent him, and he wants to do them. And then I told him about the Ken song, and I gave him the lyrics that I played that song for you. He did not play on that song.
Okay.
But he says, I might have something for you. So if he plays that's the lyrics to that song, if he plays that song with my lyrics, I may go to him, use his song. But I just love the fact that he's into this as much as I am. And he wants, The negative thing is he doesn't drive.
Right.
The positive thing is he lives in Duncannon. That's like a spit away.
Yeah, right.
You know? It's like, okay, I can go that far. The last guitarist I had that couldn't drive was about 20 minutes away and never ready. It was like I'd get there and he'd be like, "Oh, is it time to go?" "What do you mean, is it time to go? I gave you the time."
Yeah.
And you're a half hour late. How could you not know the time?
Right.
Anyway, I'm excited about it.
Right.
This guy sounds like he has a good sound. He knows how to play. He's happy about playing. He likes to write. I like to write. I got a lot of songs. I played some songs for him. He loved some of the songs I played. He played some. I love I was listening to him just jamming a bunch of stuff that he recorded, and he put it on YouTube, and he was playing parts of a ton of songs, and I loved them all.
Oh, nice.
They're all songs that I told him I want to do Electric by Alice Cooper. He said, yes.
Nice, nice.
You know, every time I'd say I want to do it, he got excited. That's the way it should be.
Right.
You shouldn't have your bass player, like, behind your back saying bad things and in front of your back saying great things.
Right.
Because when we were together, when the four of us were together, we were like a machine. We mostly it was the guitarist and I had a good communication with him.
Right.
Because you can, the thing is, if you have the singer and the guitarist tight and they can read each other's minds, and I can look at him and tell when we're done, when his leads are over without him telling me, or if he shook his head, I know, boom, I'm supposed to come in.
Right.
That communications is rare.
Yeah, it is. Right.
And it's rare when you find these musicians that'll take a song and, like, a lot of people want to, the old guys that I play with, they want to play it exactly the way it is. That's not the way the album does it. I don't care how the album does it. I want to do it the way we want to do it, because if they want to listen to the album, they're going to stay at home and listen to the album.
Right.
If they want to dance, they're going to come out and see us. And, the thing is, if you gotta, you don't hang out, you never hang out at bars, right? You're not a bar person.
I've been to like a few
But you're not
bars, no, yeah.
Did you ever go to see a band?
Yes.
Did you ever see a band that did it exactly like the album?
No.
Okay. And that's the thing. If you're dancing or you're into it, as a band, it's our obligation to drag that song out because you're into that song. And we know we do that on a spur of a moment. If if I'm doing this song and I said, okay, they're liking the song, let's see if we can get them involved in the song.
Right.
Audience participation. I love audience participation. If I can get you to react to Roadhouse Blues.
Right.
I woke up this morning and I got myself a beer, and you're into that. Then I'm going to say, I woke up this morning and I got, and you're supposed to say the rest.
Right.
If I get you involved into that, that's the kind of band that people like to see.
Right.
If they want to see a concert, they're going to go see a concert. If they want to party, then they're going to come see that kind of band.
Right.
And that's the kind of band that I am. And I kept trying to tell them in the last band that that's what we need to do. And John got it. John, the guitarist, got it.
Right.
I don't think the bass player got it.
No,
I don't think he understood that. And I might be wrong, but all I can say is he doesn't have a band anymore.
Right.
And if he asked me to come back, I wouldn't come back without John.
Right.
I'd come back with John. If John wanted to come back, I'd come back with John. But John, so he said that he said, I hope you're not mad. You're not mad at me. I said, why would I be mad at you? He said, well, you left the band. I said, no, you fired me. He didn't know he fired me. So apparently I was fired unjustly because only one of the three people wanted me to go. Because I didn't want me to go.
Or was he just saying that?
I trust him because I really found it hard to believe that Kevin wanted me to go. There was no way that I didn't think John wanted me to go. And in fact, I had a conversation with John afterwards when I left the band, just out of curiosity. I made an apology to John because I did say something that might have insulted him. But he said, no. He said, I wondered why you weren't there too.
Right.
I thought, okay, well, that's weird. I thought, well, it must have been Kevin and the other guy. And so upon reflection, I think it was just the other guy.
Yeah.
Because Kevin, why would you say, I hope you're not mad at me?
Right.
I thought you were mad at me. Well, no, I'm not mad at you. But he pretty much said he had nothing to do with it. So I think if I offered him a chance to play drums, he would do it.
Yeah.
Because he's not going anywhere with that bass player without a guitarist. The guitarist is the hardest thing to find. A good guitarist is hard to find. Because we have a bunch of them on Wednesday night, but none of them want to play out.
Right.
So I got good vibes about this guy. Hey, Amy Sue, how you doing? It sucks. I wonder which part.
I don't know.
Sorry, I don't know what you were having, what you have, and it sucks about. But anyway, so that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I really am enjoying my conversation with this guy. I think he has a lot of things to offer, and I think I have a lot of things to offer him. And if this works on Wednesday, we may have a band already.
Right.
And if not, we'll find one. Because once I have a guitarist, the rest of the pieces will fall together. I'll find a bass player. I'll find a drummer.
She says the band.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, now that makes sense. I wasn't sure because I've just been rambling on for 45 minutes or whatever ever since Ashley shocked me and tried to put me into a coma. So.
Not me too.
Well, I wasn't expecting it. That's the kind of thing you should tell an old man before you go and... Anyway, surviving real cold temperature. Oh, yeah, I'll bet you. She lives in Wisconsin. No, where you live? I forget. No, you're in Michigan. No, not Michigan. That's Pete. You're in Wisconsin. Yeah. No, you're in Are you in Wisconsin? Not in Wisconsin. It's up there in that area. It's that really cold area. So, all right. I guess we could start with the show now.
Almost an hour
Michigan,
later.
That's it. Yeah, I knew that. Michigan. This is going to be a weird show because I don't have a lot of articles this week because I've been worried about getting to New York, so I actually thought I wrote a lot more than I did, and I didn't write what I thought I did, so I looked at right before we came down, and I said, we're going to be playing this by heart, or we're going to be playing this by ear, so it could be interesting. So we may have a short show this week. It's hard to say. Okay, so, and I don't know if my sister's here, or if she forgot what day it was again, but, all right. Today we're gonna, since we don't have any. One thing I did. I guess I'm going to talk about because it happened right before the show started. On YouTube, I noticed that Jimmy Carter, they had the funeral for his wife, and it was sad. I didn't even want to watch it, and Christine made me.
Hashtag must be Tuesday. That's right.
Yeah. But anyway,
it was 19 this morning. She says, "Ugh, you keep them up. You keep them up there."
Yeah. Let's keep it. Well, we're at 29, so we're not too far off. But anyway, so it was a sad thing seeing Jimmy Carter being rolled out in his wheelchair and hardly there mentally, and they were both on hospice care. So I guess I should maybe get him off the streets. I don't want people to think that it's him that's in hospice.
Right.
But
like you said, like you don't think it, unfortunately, will be too much longer.
No, he's 99. He's 99. I mean, I don't want to live to be 99 personally because, the worst last thing I want is someone to have to take care of me. I want, if I can't take care of myself, but can you imagine, and I thought about this a lot since she died, the actual friendship they had. Not just a relationship. I'm talking a friendship. Because you can have a relationship without a friendship. You can have a friendship without a relationship. But to have that much commitment to someone, and that much love for someone, that you could spend 77 years with anybody. 77 years.
Yeah, Marcia just said Jimmy Carter's also in hospice care.
Yeah, I just the beauty of the relationship was something that very few people actually have.
Right.
Yeah, the strength in that relationship. I can't imagine. There's no one that I've had that I can even say was from my childhood that I'm still in contact with. But they were together since they were teens.
Right.
I mean, that's an unbelievable.
That's like the true meaning of high school sweetheart right there.
And the thing is, they are more than that because they're friends. They're
right.
the best of friends. One can't really function without the other because they've never had to function.
Right.
They spent 3/4 of their
that's
life.
That's like the ideal.
Yeah.
I want to say ideal relationship or ideal, whatever you want to call it, that you can use as like a what do I want to say? Role model.
I was going to say gauge, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean that. Okay. So to put it into perspective, if you had what's the longest relationship you had with one person?
On and off or straight?
Okay, let's say on and off.
On and off, probably with Kylie's dad.
Which is?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
4 years. Not 77, 4 years.
Right. Nowhere near.
Yeah. And I had 18 and a half with Pam. 18 and a half is only a third of what they did. I can't imagine 3 times that.
Right.
With one person.
I mean, my grandparents had 50-some.
That'd be like getting right out of high school, being with that one person right out of high school. Like if I was with my first love was Nancy.
Right.
She's dead. But I was with her for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine 77 years with one person.
Like I said, my grandparents is December 3rd. Their anniversary is December 3rd. And they were together like 50-some years. They renewed their vows at 45 because my grandfather's health they weren't sure about. So they renewed at 45 instead of 50 because, like I said, they weren't sure about his health, how it was going to turn. Well, he ended up making it till 50. So they had like a brief kind of, a
vacation.
No, the pastor at our church of our time kind of surprised them with a renewal right in the middle of church.
Nice. I can't imagine. I can't imagine even being alive for 77 years, let alone being with someone for 77 years,
right.
Or even 50 years, or even 40 years,
right.
Even 30 years. I wasn't even at 20 for my longest relationship. And even my relationship with Jamie, we had 2 times, and both times, if you add them up, maybe 6 years combined. So when I think of 77 years with that person, not 77 years that they were alive, and Amy Sue said she was with her guy for 27, and just so you take that 27 times 3,
right,
and you're there. I can't imagine. It's really foreign to me. And in today's world, people aren't in relationships very long at all. But they were in relationship for a long time. I just think it's really cool, and I applaud them.
But I do agree with you. I don't see him surviving much longer.
I'm surprised that she went first, though, because usually the guy dies first.
Yeah.
And he's 2 years older than her.
I think it's one of those things. Yeah, I think it's one of those things. I think it's good. I hate to say this. I think it's going to be one of those things where he kind of can't survive without her.
Yeah, how could you? Because that's the only one that you, anytime you looked around, that person was there. And when Pam died, it devastated me. I mean, everything reminded me of her. Everything. And just living here reminds me of her.
Wanting
daily.
to call them when something
Yes,
good happens.
yes.
I still do it with my dad or my grandparents.
Yes.
Something good happens and I want to just call them,
And you
it's
can't.
like, because I still have their phone numbers in my phone, and it's like
I have her phone number I still have her under my favorites list, too, and she doesn't have a phone.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I mean,
know.
it could be reassigned to somebody completely different now.
It is. I called that person by accident a couple times because I'd hit it pocket dialed it, but Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you don't ever want to let them go, because it's just, it's part of you, and it's, after a certain period of time, it is part of you. And it's funny, because I wanted to get back in the dating scene shortly after she died, because I was so alone and so.
Right. Well,
so
like Amy Sue just said, in today's world, folks don't put in the work to make a relationship last. You're right.
That's correct.
And I've had that same talk with Antoine, that people don't. But like he's like, I'm trying, like, so sometimes when I'm like lacking, he's like, okay, I'm trying, maybe you need to try a little bit more. He'll point something out. So one thing for like coming home on Thanksgiving, he's like, you know, that he had to point out to me is, I've always been going to Kylie. My focus has always been Kylie. He goes, what about my family? And we've always celebrated before or after. He goes, well, why can't my family get holidays? His family started feeling like I didn't care about them.
Well, that's always a problem, and that will continue to be a problem always, as long as there are two families.
Right. And I was like, well, that's not, I told him it's not that true.
What you could do is offer to split the holidays, or, you know, just, because there's always ways to do it.
Well, they're like, well, why can't Kylie come down here and join with us? I said,
why
you're
not?
Absolutely not. You're right. Why?
And she should, if you're going to be.
And I said, that's something that I have to take up with her father. That's something I have to talk about with them. And, like, I'm so used to, and Kylie has now gotten used to me going up there, spending a couple days, but that can't happen anymore. And I coming home, I did talk to Rich and Christy about
How old
it.
Is she?
11. She'll be 12 this year, coming year.
Still a little.
It's hard, and that's why I talked to. I had called Rich, but Christy had called me back, and I said, "Listen, this is what's going to, kind of be happening in the conversation that I have to vet." And they kind of agreed, and they're like, "Okay, well, we'll help kind of navigate that." It doesn't mean that I can't come up for the day or something or whatever. It just I can't be spending.
I understand. And I think it's good that you have people that are willing to talk about it, and that's important too. I like him a lot. I think he's a nice guy. And I think if you guys can work it out, you could be a good couple.
Right, and that's why I said, okay, well, if I want to be with him, which I do, okay, yeah, wow, that kind of like hit me like, oh, I didn't see it in their point, and now that I stopped and stepped back, I do see their point. So I have, went to them and I apologized to them.
I don't know apologies, but I understand. Yeah. I think that that's something that every family, especially split families, go through, and so it's not that unusual, but it is something you were going to have to come to terms with at some point. Right. And it's good that you're coming to terms with it this early, because it'll stop any kind of.
Right, and Antoine, he's like, I hated kind of bringing it up. I said, no, you shouldn't have. He's like, it's just my family kept, asking if I was going to ask you. And he's like, I didn't want to because, I understand that Kylie is your daughter, and I get you. Like, he's like, I get your side, but I also get their side. I said, but here's the thing: if we're in a relationship together, you shouldn't be afraid to bring stuff up to me. I shouldn't be afraid to bring stuff up to you. You shouldn't be afraid to bring stuff up to me.
You're still early in that relationship.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of hurdles you're going to have to get over. There's still a lot of things you're going to headbutt on. Right. It's just a normal thing. We have things like that too. Not very often, but we do have occasional things. And it's different with us because we don't have kids. We don't have parents. We're pretty much on our own. But we do have some things that are issues. And it's funny.
We had better this morning, and then he finally apologized afterwards.
One of the things that actually you reminded me of is that about when you lose someone, like people ask me, how did you end up with Lisa? Mm-hmm. That's a good question because we're totally different.
How did you end up with Lisa?
It's a good question because it is we're totally from different things. Our lives were so different. And in fact, I wasn't even so sure in the beginning that I wanted to be with her.
Right.
And I told her that up front.
Right.
I said to her, look, we're totally different people. You're a biker. I'm not a biker.
Mm-hmm.
You're this, I'm that. I'm this, you're that.
Right.
And the things that kept us, that were different, like I like long hair.
Right.
She doesn't like long hair. Well, that's, for me, a turn on to have long hair. I would like to have long hair, but I can't. Unless I wear a wig. That's the only way I'm going to have. But I'm a rocker, so, I feel like if it weren't for Judas Priest, I wouldn't feel good being shorter hair because, he doesn't have, Rob Halford has no hair now. So I got to look at him for a role model. But anyway, some of the things like she was born in a rich family.
Mm-hmm.
She had everything given to her in the beginning.
So with him.
I was born in a poor family. I had nothing given to me.
That was him and I, yep.
Her family paid attention to her.
Mm-hmm.
My family didn't pay attention to me. Her family divorced. My family didn't divorce, but my father died young.
Right.
Her father divorced her mother because she didn't clean.
Mm-hmm.
So she got it in her head that she's got to clean everything. She's got to be moving every minute of the day cleaning. I have a crystal clean house. So all these things we had separate. She lives in a trailer now and doesn't have any money. I retired at 57. I mean, a lot of things different. I own a pretty nice house, if I were to clean it, and she lives in a trailer. Now, her trailer's nice.
Right.
I won't say, I'm not, by the way, I'm not busting on her in any way. I'm saying we had totally different things. Now, the reasons why I gave her a chance was we both had, her husband was dead, my wife was dead, and they died around the same time, give or take, a couple years. Mm-hmm. I missed my wife tremendously. She did not miss her husband. Her husband killed himself in front of her. Mm. He came after her. I don't know if I ever told you the story, but
I don't think I heard
well, he was insane. He was a very bad alcoholic. He had lost his driver's license. He had lost his business, and a lot of things. But anyway, the one time he came after, they were split up. She had a restraining order against him. He came to the house, broke into the house, and said, "I have a double-barrel shotgun. I have 2 bullets in here. One has your name on it. One has my name on it." And honestly, that would have scared the freaking
I can only imagine. Yeah.
And she said she stayed real calm and said, "Look, if you want to kill me, that's fine, but let me watch the rest of this TV show." And fortunately, one of the neighbors saw him show up and called the police. And he said, "What?" So he sat down and they watched the rest of the TV show, and the cops knocked on the door, and he tried to get out of the house, and they caught him and took him away. Well, the next time he came to the door, he had a gun, a pistol. Mm-hmm. He showed up at the door, and he shot himself in front of her.
Oh.
Okay, so she had quite a bit different than I did.
Right.
I came home and saw Pam dead on the floor.
Hi, puppy.
There was nothing I could do to save her, and she didn't kill herself. So part of the reason that I went with her was I thought, okay, well, maybe she'll understand what it's like to lose someone. Because a lot of the people said, it's tough losing someone, and they don't really know what it's like. And I thought maybe we'll get along because of that, because we have that in common.
Right.
Unfortunately, it went the wrong way, and I tried to love her, but she didn't trust me, and of course people got involved and caused more problems, and soon it became a situation where I was being accused of infidelity with several people, and I don't have that much moxie. I don't have
me. No.
Yeah. Well, actually, your name did not come up, but a lot of people did, and it was people that were friends of mine. And the thing is that that really turned her into a psycho and turned her to not trust me at all. And I never gave her any reason not to trust me. So if you can't trust somebody, you're not going to have a relationship with them. And that's what happened. So that was a very, very important role of my life because made me open my eyes a little more. And I thought, okay, maybe I shouldn't be in any more relationships because I had a lot of things going on. And then I thought, I'm not ever getting in another relationship. Right. But that didn't happen that way anyway. Right. But that was weird because I swore off any relationships at that point. Right. And I wasn't even so sure. At that point, I just wanted someone to go to the movies with. Right. And just someone to hang out with. And I figured that's the safest thing. I won't get involved in anything emotionally. And then found the girl that caught my attention. Right. And but I thought, I'm only going to take this to, I'm not going to do anything to, just going to go out to eat with her and go out to the movies once in a while with her, and just turned into something special. But I wasn't planning on, after Lisa, I swore off I wasn't going to get.
I wasn't really planning to be in a relationship with Antoine either. It was just I was kind of looking for somebody to talk to, looking to somebody to actually listen to me. And
what'd you say?
Yeah.
Were you talking to me?
And it just kind of was
I'm sorry, I'm missing stuff in here. Bald men don't have hormones growing hair. I want some. Give me some hormones growing hair. You know how to make hormones, right? You know how to make a hormone? You don't pay her. I don't have a domestic bone in my body, but I cook. I get that I wanted to talk I wanted to talk to somebody about anything but recovery and divorce and trauma. And what are we talking about? Oh, well. But, the thing is, that was a nice thing that when I went out with Christine, I didn't feel the pressure because I didn't want anything. Right. I wasn't looking to get sex. I wasn't looking to start anything new. I just wanted a friend. Yep. And that's always been my best relationships, is when they start as friendships. With Pam, the best relationship I ever had with Pam was that we talked. We didn't push the sex thing. We didn't push none of that. I mean, in fact, we didn't have sex very often at all. In the last 12 years. In the last 12 years of her life, we had sex once. And that's because she was so sick all the time. Right. And I didn't really feel that I could have sex with her because I didn't want to hurt her. Right. My biggest thing was being careful that everything was okay. And sometimes, people say, sex is about, a relationship is all about sex, but it's not. No, it's not. It's not. And it really is all about the person and being able, the compatibility. Exactly. And not being upset every time you do something. Like with Jamie, a lot of the problems was that if I didn't hear her, like I said, what? She'd say, forget about it. I'm like, forget about what? I couldn't hear. This is not my good ear. Right. So if I'm driving the car and you talk to me and I say what, it's because I didn't really hear you. And I would turn my head and say, what did you say? And she wouldn't say it again. And that's why I think the relationship I have now is good, because for the most part we do listen to each other, and we do try to comfort each other. We try to do what's right, and we work together, and we don't work for the better of ourselves. We work for the better of the team, and that's a good thing. And I think that's probably what the best thing I've learned is, it's kind of like a band. A band and a marriage are the same. Right. And I get you in the hearing thing, because I almost left these here last week. What? It's a little case. What is it?
They're hearing aids.
You wear hearing aids?
I'm supposed to. I haven't worn them in the last few days, but it's
You wore hearing aids?
Yeah, I haven't for a while. But I don't wear them here because of wearing the headphones.
Yeah.
But actually, right around the first Tuesday that I came back to the show, the next day I had a hearing test done, and let me go back. A long time ago, I had a hearing test done. It said I was partially deaf in both of my ears.
Wow. Okay.
My hearing was good to equal one good ear. Okay. And I said, okay. And I wanted to know if that was still kind of true, or maybe did it improve, worsen, kind of whatever. So they did it like a free hearing test type thing that you can do. And they said, nope, still the same. At least it's still the same. I said, okay. So we called my insurance, and the insurance says we don't cover anything hearing aids unless you're 21 or unless you're under 21.
Oh, they do under 21. Okay.
Yeah. So I said, okay. So I was like, now what am I going to do? So they're like, just buy them like off of Amazon, go to Walmart to see if they have like the as seen on TV things or whatever. So I bought these off of Amazon. They said, try those, see if they work. If they do, great. Those can get you they'll work for you, they'll last you a while, or if not, then come back. We have financing, we can get you fitted perfectly. And so far, for the most part, they work like at home and out around, they work fine. The only struggle I've had is at work when I wear them. I hear a lot of now the other background noises, and I can't necessarily hear the customers or other people talking to me. It's picking up a lot of the background. So I know I'm not necessarily wearing them at work unless I absolutely need to. So I just tell people, hey, at work you gotta just talk a little louder or look at me so that I can, maybe know what you're saying. I said, other than that, I'm not gonna know. But outside of here, yes, I am to be wearing hearing aids.
Interesting, because Lisa's brother had hearing problems and had hearing aids. And actually, when he was working in my yard, he was working on throwing some brush out, and he whipped it, and somehow it hit his hearing aid, and it whipped it into the woods somewhere, and we couldn't find it. So I bought him a set of hearing aids because he needed them to work, and I was in a better situation than he was.
Right.
And so I paid for half of his new hearing aids. But I learned a little bit about hearing aids from that.
Right.
And like some of the new ones you can fine tune with your phone. I was like, wow, that'd be great
but
if you could do that.
But they can be pricey too. I've heard that they can be up to like $7,000.
Yes. But the ones I saw that I bought him were around $1,500 or something. He paid, or maybe it wasn't that much, but he paid half and I paid half. And
ones that I was looking at, they could be up. They were anywhere from $100, $200, some $300. Yeah. And that's just on like Amazon.
That's why.
Thankfully, luckily, I found these ones were only $45. But they're not.
The difference is the noise reduction.
Right.
So with the newer one, with
these
the
are
nicer,
supposed to be noise canceling, but they're not.
They're not. The higher end ones are.
Right.
And the reason that I know this stuff is because audio stuff in general. I know a little bit about audio because I've been in music for so long, but it's important that the noise reduction, like I want to fix the show sound because there's a lot of hiss that comes that we shouldn't have. And so I'm going to, hopefully for the new year, look into noise reduction so when you stop talking, it shuts the mic off.
Right.
And when you start talking, it opens the mic back up. And that's going to be, if I find the right thing to put on our system, we're going to end up eliminating a lot of that noise that's in the background.
That's nice.
I had it eliminated once and it came back, and I I got to figure out why it came back. But I want to do that because I really want this show to sound as clean as possible. Because if there's anything dirty on the show,
a lot of people didn't even notice I had these in. Like you,
I never noticed that you had it in.
Well, I haven't had them in here. Well, you've seen me.
Okay.
But like I have it, I put it in now, straight on. I
can't see it.
Yeah, you can't see it.
And even if I could, I wouldn't say anything.
Right.
It's actually pretty nice. It's
right.
The ones I've seen, my drummer has this earpiece that's so small, and you can't even. He puts it in. You can't even tell.
Yeah, I've seen those too. I've seen those too. Those are pretty expensive as well.
Well, he probably got it covered by Social Security or by not Social Security, by disability.
And a lot of people, when I wore them the first day at work, they didn't even know I had them until I said something and turned my head. Then they realized it. The one girl at work kind of made fun of me. And it's like, listen, be glad that you don't have to have them at your age. I mean, she's younger than me. The one I've had difficulty problems with. I said, be glad, because it's not fun having.
No, it's not. It's horrible.
And I wish it on nobody, but.
Right. I would wish it on somebody that was being an ass like that, but but yeah, and as a singer, my right ear is worse than my left ear. My left ear is pretty good, and since I lost hearing in my right ear, I sing better. I don't know why, but I do. But it's freaking weird. But I can understand why I lost my hearing, because I play rock and roll, and we played it at some pretty loud things. And but anyway, I guess I should do some stories. I have a lot less stories than normal.
Look, we're too busy talking.
Well, the thing is, I'm seeing that I'm not showing. It's not here. The ones I was going to say. I want to see if these are here. They're not here either. What's going on? We might be in really trouble, because if I don't have any of my stories, that's okay. Let me go to the next. None of it's here. Wait, that's here.
I know what happened. You went into the living room and were doing what you were doing, and I had left these down here, and I had to come back. This is when I was out talking to Christine. I had to come back down and get these because I left them set right here. Almost left them here.
Okay, now why aren't they syncing? I want to know, because this is going to be a problem if we don't have. I know what I can do. I can bring up. We can do this. We can still do this. I got a way to do it. I can do this. All right, so we're going to do it this way. I need this, and I will bring it over here, and I will sign into. Yeah, because I need my stories. I don't have my stories at all. For some reason, they didn't sync, and they always sync. So we're going to make them sync. So here we go. So we can just talk a little more. Kind of weird though, because I don't really have that problem. They always synced up, so I don't know why. Maybe it's because I rebooted the router. Maybe. Let me see if I can bring it up here. We should have everything. It should be right here. And if it isn't right here, we're in trouble. We're going to be talking about a lot of fun stuff, because,
Well, I know I told you. I don't know how many people remember that with my health, my fibro, actually got accepted into I'm going to say, it's called a rehab. It's a pain management.
Chronic, you were talking to her about it.
Yeah, chronic pain management rehab, but it's a program that I actually got accepted to. So it's not, it kind of does physical therapy, but it also does like in the physical, it kind of kind of structures your whole way of living. So like a lot of stress comes with pain. Like it's gonna go. I'm gonna learn into how to reduce the stress and how to reduce the pain when the pain comes to stress.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
They have an aquatic pool, so with a pool with a treadmill in it, the pool is like 88 degrees, so that I can get in there and it'll lift off my weight, and I can walk there. So yeah, and I'm going to be starting that relatively in the next couple weeks.
Okay, this one has my story. So, all right, here we go. We're going to roll with it. It's a shame that it didn't do it the way I wanted it to, but hey, we'll make it work. We just got to do things a little different than I wanted to, but that's okay. I can make it work. I just think it's weird that it didn't show story change. Like it didn't update anything. So, all right, we'll just do it the other way. Wait, how can I do that? I mean, all the times I've been doing this the same way all the time, and it's worked every time. But, okay, looks like it's not going to work this time. So we're going to do it the second way that I know works. So, okay, so this week at the movies, oh, by the way, I canceled my Regal card.
Okay.
Because, like, they've been charging me $21 a month, and you could go as many times as you want to the movies, but I've been so busy, I haven't gone to the movies in 4 months.
Right.
So I wrote them saying I'd like to cancel it, and a lady comes back saying, we understand you wanting to cancel it. If you'd like to reconsider, we can put it on hold for 3 months or this and that. And I wrote back saying, no, I want to cancel it because I've been too busy to use it right now, and I've paid you lots of money for the past couple months, and I haven't used it even once. So the next day, they charged me.
Oh, of course.
So I wrote to them and saying, look, I asked you to cancel that. Would you please cancel that and refund me? She said, well, it's good till the end of the month. You can go as many times as you want till the end of the month. And I came back to them and I said, look, I asked you to cancel it so you can, if you leave it up, you can cancel it, and I will never use your service ever again. Or you can refund me, and when I'm ready to go back to the movies, I'll reopen. And I thought, that's pretty hard-nosed, but that's what I want.
Right.
So I was waiting, and they came back and said, we've refunded you, because I wasn't going to go back to them if they were going to play hardball, and they refunded me. So now I take that as a good thing, and when I'm ready to go back, I will go back to them, or I'll go back to movie. I might go to Movie Pass, because Movie Pass, they have a $10 a month, which is good for 1 to 2 movies. They got a $20 or a $15 a month. It's good for 2 to 4 movies. And then they got a $21 a month that is good for, like, well, they do it on a credit system where you get credits. And so I guess it depends. If you go during the week, you get the best price. And because I don't work, during the week would work with me.
Right.
So I don't know. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do at this point. I would go back to them because they did what I asked them to do.
Right.
Even though it took me a long time to get that. So anyway, box office. So Disney had a new film out. Oh, this is going to be working a little different than I thought. Shoot. Okay. All right, so now I got to do it this way. All right. But I can still do it. It's just I've got to take an extra step to get it done.
I do want to see that.
So the Disney Wish Fizzes and Napoleon beat the expectation as Hunger Games lands on top again. So, number one turned out to be Hunger Games, and Disney didn't do as well as they hoped it would do, which is a surprise because Disney's this is the second week Disney released something new, and it didn't do the kind of numbers it wanted it to do. So that tells you, well, it doesn't, why. They don't know why, and I would say that it probably is because people are not going to see movies right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's worried about the economy, and so they may not go back right now to the movies. It's really a shame because this Wish was supposed to be a pretty big thing.
Right.
And so I found that interesting to find that they didn't meet expectations. So I found that interesting. And Napoleon, I was really surprised. Now, Napoleon was a movie by Ridley Scott, and Ridley Scott usually makes pretty interesting movies. But I wouldn't go to see Napoleon.
Right.
I might now that I saw that it did this well.
Yeah,
but it's not really something of my interest. And I was surprised that they made a movie about Napoleon. So, yeah, it's kind of strange to think about. Oh, look, my friend. But anyway, yeah, so I don't... Oh, I think I just shut the window. Did I shut the window? I did shut the window. Oh, this is going to be a worse way to do it because I got to do it a different way. Oh. All right, let me think about this. Can I do it? Oh, let's open the whole So it's kind of interesting that... would you see Napoleon? Is there any interest in that movie to you?
Yeah, I would.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me. But Napoleon did really well. And Hunger Games, of course, is the prequel.
Right.
Which I got to see the prequel. I love the Hunger Games. And so I'll probably go see the prequel. Wish, the studio's newest animated adventure, was projected to land on the top of the box office charts over Thanksgiving. Instead, ticket sales fell short of expectations with a weak $19.5 million over the traditional weekend and $31.7 million over the 5 days. And the film tumbled into third place behind The Hunger Games and the prequel of Songbirds and Snakes and Ridley Scott's historical epic Napoleon. Heading into the weekend, the musical fable Wish was projected to earn $35 million over the traditional weekend and $45 million to $50 million in the first 5 days of release. So they fell short in all of that. And ticket sales weren't as catastrophic as the studio's 2022 flop Strange World at $12 million. And so I just think it's interesting that Disney is feeling the pain. So if Disney's feeling the pain, everybody's feeling the pain. So
you used to look up the box office,
yes,
right?
It's right here. I don't know if I see. The problem is, the old way I used to look up the box office, I understood and I could explain it. This new way, I can't really explain it because it kills me. Like here, it says that the Thanksgiving weekend they did 100 and let's see here, we did.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you. Okay.
Yeah, for the 4 days, it says 130 million.
No, I'm trying to look up a certain.
No, that's gross.
Movie.
That's gross. That's the gross that it did.
But I don't know when it came out in theaters.
Oh, when it came, that one came out a couple weeks ago.
No, there was another movie. Hold on.
Which one? Because even like the Marvels tanked. The Marvels, they just weren't where it should have been.
It had to have been out around. Yeah, maybe Halloween-ish, I want to say. Because she took him to see it on a Sunday. I know that it was his first time. My sister took my nephew to see, and it was his first movie, going to a movie theater, Paw Patrol, the Mighty Movie.
Okay.
Now, my nephew is 6.
Okay.
So that's what he saw, Paw Patrol, the Mighty Movie. And he was talking to me about it at the one time after he saw it. He was saying it was good. I had told him when it came out to where I could watch it, should I watch it? And he goes to me, well, duh. So a couple weeks ago, I realized that it came out on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
So I watched it on Paramount Plus one day when I was home, and I had told him that I watched it so that him and I could now talk about it, him and I, so that something I could another thing I could have in common with him, and him, he sat and talked to me for, I want to say, a good 45 minutes to an hour about this movie.
Almost as long as the movie itself.
Right, yeah.
And then they went to Well, this is a new one. This is a new thing. It talks about it better here. It says the weekend gross was $29 million for the Hunger Games. They did a total of $101 million. It's been out for 2 weeks. Napoleon did 1 week. Its weekend gross was $21 million. The total gross was $34 million. So this is a little more comprehensive. I think I'll like to use this one maybe a little more than the other one. The other one I can't break down because I can't see who else was there.
Right.
It's only telling me the top number one. Whereas before I used to have, this is the top, this is what they were last week, this is what they are this week.
Right.
I love that one, but they don't make that one anymore.
Oh, why not?
Because I asked for it. You know, anything I ask for, they're not going to give me. So I'm going to put that in my...
September 29th is when it came out in
Which one?
theaters. Paw Patrol, yeah.
Paw Patrol, let's see where it is now.
Yeah, it's called Paw Patrol the Mighty Movies.
It's not in the 10, top 10. It's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Then it goes back to this. So this, well, this isn't bad. I might use this one. This isn't too bad. This kind of tells me.
So here you can look it up by month.
On
the other one you can look at
Taylor
September.
Swift, Priscilla. Paw Patrol's got to be way down there because these other ones are. Oh, I got a new scammer.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I do. This scammer's promising me. Okay, so did I talk about this last week?
Possibly.
Where I found out it is truly a scammer, and I found all the information about the person.
Okay, so from September 29th to October 5th, it says top 10 gross was 100,262,146.
That's not bad. Depending on how much money they have.
The overall gross was 113,460,729. So I found it here.
5 nights. That was on Peacock, by the way. So if you have Peacock and you pay for Peacock, you can get that movie for free. And that's going to screw up. See, the way we do movies now is a lot different than we did movies a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can get off of Peacock and off of Paramount and some of those guys the same time it's released, or really reasonably or unreasonably close to when it was that'll kill their gross. And I don't know that the Disney movies are being released at the same time on Disney, but that'll screw up your box office. So that's one of the things that the one woman who was one of the superheroes was fighting Disney about, because she got paid off of the back end money, which that's the way that people do movies now. They take a less amount up front so that they can make back end money off of the ticket sales. So that would be that becomes a problem if you're doing that, because you're not getting box office receipts from Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting it off of the theater.
Right.
So that's one of the things that the strike was about, was that not getting paid fairly off of your work. So
this is kind of shocking, but yet again not.
What's that?
Now it says, I found it and I clicked on it, and it kind of gives me like the summary of everything.
Right.
It says opening. So I'm assuming this is how much it made when it opened in theaters.
Yes.
It came out, and it says 3,989 theaters.
Right.
Do you want to take a wild guess of how much?
And this is for Paw Patrol?
Mm-hmm. The Mighty Movie.
And this was how many days when it came out?
September 29th is when it came out.
I'm going to say 30 million.
But close. 22 million.
Okay. See, now in the old days, that movie would have done probably double that.
Right.
And if it was a Disney movie, would have done probably triple or quadruple that.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on, is nobody's going to the theaters.
Right.
And now somebody said something about, hold on here. Let's see if this is the movie she was talking about. Hold on. you said 5 nights. Are you talking about 5 Nights at Freddy's? Is that the movie you're talking about? Because I did see that movie, and that movie was on Peacock. It grossed a total of $1.7 million this weekend, but it did a total gross of $137 million, and it's 5 weeks out. Now, keep in mind that if you were the star of that, or if you were getting back-end money for that, you don't get paid for, well, before the strike, you wouldn't have got paid for what was played on Peacock.
Right.
Now, with the strike being over, they're probably getting paid for what was on Peacock, too. So that's one nice thing about this strike, is that it's now making them pay for the stuff that is being done elsewhere. And people are saying, well, that's greedy of them. No, it's not. It's greedy of Peacock and Disney and all that to market their movies and not pay the talent.
Right.
So if they didn't have the talent, they wouldn't have the movie.
I wonder maybe the reason why that didn't do so well, too, is because of maybe weather in certain areas, because if it's cold out here, not a lot of people may not want to go out in the cold.
I think it's because the new world is my kind of world, because I don't like to go out.
Right.
So the reason I used to go to movies was to force myself to go out.
Right.
But now it's just as easy to sit at home and watch it on Peacock.
Right.
And since I have a big screen, I have a projector and all that, I can get the big screen experience that I always loved with the big screen in my house. And that's where the problem is that's, Amy says her girl loved the 5 Nights at Freddy's. 5 Nights at Freddy's was a really cool movie.
Right.
And so am I going to pay $12 for a ticket, or $24 if I take a date, or am I going to stay at home and watch it on Peacock?
Right.
And since I pay for Peacock without commercials. I'm going to stay at home and watch it there.
Exactly.
And that's how it's been lately, is that I don't want to pay to go, and that's why I canceled. That's one of the reasons I canceled my my card, because I'm going to be watching stuff at home, and I'm not one that goes out a whole lot, especially since people are talking about getting COVID again. Christine was telling me her best friends, both of them, let's say it sounds like she only has 2 best friends, both of them got COVID. And so it's like, are we going through this again? Are we going to have to deal with this again? Well, I'm going to go to New York, where there's no people at all.
Yeah, right.
I'm terrified of getting COVID again. I don't want to get it again. I had it twice. I don't want it again.
I had it once.
I
had it once over Christmas.
Well, she had it over Christmas when she was on her deathbed, and they induced her in a coma. I don't want to go through that.
No.
That was hard the first time. And now, fortunately, the first time I had it was before anybody knew what COVID was, because they didn't even announce it.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to die. I really felt so bad. I just said, okay, if you want me to die, come and get me.
Thankfully, it
was
and
horrible.
Nothing against Christine. Thankfully, I didn't have it as bad as her either.
Oh,
but
she had it that bad because she was stubborn. She refused to go to the doctor, and I forced her to go.
At one point, I was like, okay, enough is enough. Every time I coughed, I couldn't breathe. It was hard for me to breathe. So I did go to the hospital, and I was, yes, you have it, okay?
Yeah.
Obviously, Coldman wasn't working. He's like, get one of those oxygen things that you put on your finger.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's
he goes,
how I knew that.
Watch that. He goes, if it goes below, I think it was 84, 82, and he goes, and it stays below that, then get back here.
Under 80.
Yeah, he's like, get back here. You will have to be admitted.
Yeah.
Luckily, it never went under that and stayed.
She was very close to dying. And I forced her into the car. She doesn't even remember me forcing her. And I said, we can't do this. You can't die here. I can't have another person dying here.
On the other hand, look at my grandmother. She was stubborn too.
She is.
And look what happened there. She unfortunately did pass away because of COVID. But that, and I kept telling her, don't you think you need to go to the doctor? Don't you think you go to the hospital? No, I'll be fine. Because she didn't want to go. But
Ken.
That's another one. On my dad's death certificate, it wasn't his number one thing, but his third reason.
COVID doesn't kill you.
Right.
COVID causes you to die of other things.
Right. But like I think it was the third thing down on the list of reasons was coronavirus.
Yes.
And so somebody saw that and like started freaking out.
Well, that's the thing. They misinterpret things.
I said he didn't have it.
Yeah.
He had it.
Yes.
They have to put it there. And like when you went to the hospital, yes, he was in a room where you had to be careful and wear a mask. Yes, but he did. So in a technical term, yes, he had it. But reality-wise, he was still able to go out and be fine, like because he was going out and doing hobbies like he liked playing poker. He was fine to do that. He was able to do that. He wasn't physically diagnosed with it, so he was able to do that stuff. Like it wasn't like a contagious.
Right.
But yes, he was still in a way diagnosed with it.
That's what happened to Ken. I mean, it hurt his heart.
Right.
Which, it sucks because it really has taken a lot of people and made it very difficult to, because they code it that way so they get money for it too. So anyway, so Five Nights at Freddy's is a good movie. It's kind of a cute-ish movie. It's kind of funny, but it's kind of gross in some parts. But it's overall funny, and it's really not bad. Let's see here. Then we've got the Napoleon. They didn't expect Napoleon to do what it did. Napoleon came in left. Now, Ridley Scott does a lot of really cool movies. And I would not have guessed that Ridley Scott's movie would have done this well because the 78.8 million, that's actually really good for a non-superhero movie, especially with Napoleon wasn't exactly the nicest guy in the world.
Right.
But that I probably now want to see just because I want to know what the hype's about.
Mm-hmm.
I know a little bit about Napoleon, and he wasn't a really nice guy, but now I want to know what it is that people liked about that movie, what caused people to go to see that movie. 78 million is actually superhero worthy, that actually did better than the Marvels came out.
Right.
That came out. So there's got to be something that people want to feel that was good about that movie. Now Joaquin Phoenix was in that movie. He was Napoleon, and so it debuted at 78.8 million. Well, that included 46 million internationally, but still, they've done for the five. Let's see. Napoleon brought in 33.1 million domestically in the first 5 days, landing in second place after Hunger Games. Hunger Games. That's just a machine. They're going to make money off of that because of the earlier version. But I don't think Jennifer Lawrence is even in that movie. But I do want to see it now because, I got to see it because I saw all the other ones. I got to, But, yeah. Anyway. All right, now I got to, no, what happened? What are we doing? Oh, no. We're not done. We're not over.
Not done yet.
Put the bird away. That shouldn't even be there. That shouldn't be there. Why is that there? I don't know what we got here. Oh, that was, okay, that's John. Okay. All right, so there we go. Okay, now, all right. Now we got that, so that's all done. So we did actually accomplish something. We played two articles. Two. All right, it's not going away. Why is the articles not going away? Because it's Tuesday, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Must be Tuesday. Okay, it's not letting me delete it. Why? Delete it. There we go. Delete it. Boom. Okay. All right, next. Now we'll go into the entertainment section here. Let's see. I'm going to try my notes again. See if it happens to pop up. Because I need my notes. I've got to have my notes. It's still not there. Why are you not looking? All this time, you've been the reliable one here. All right. Close that. Close that. All right. I think I'll just drag my notes over here and be done with it. You can all see my notes this week, so enjoy. You get to see everything I've written about everybody and how I think people are slugs and stuff like that. I put that in my notes, too. All right.
We're cheating this week.
Yeah, it looks like I got to do it this way because this is not being nice to me. Okay, now you're not bringing up my notes. What's going on now? Okay, now I brought it up. Okay. All right, now. By the way, did I mention lately, thank you for coming back. I
thank you for having
really
me back.
like, I want to say that most people that I've talked to, when they say about co-hosts, if they had a vote of all the co-hosts I've ever had, you're number one.
Yay, good.
That's serious. That's serious.
Makes me excited.
The people like you overall because you've really fooled them. You really seem personable. It's amazing.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, it makes me happy too. And I just want you to know that I don't compliment too many people about too many things, but you are definitely one of the fan favorites.
Then all the fans are invited to the wedding.
That's right. Okay, so the next one. Do you know who Coleman Domingo is?
No.
Okay. Do you know who? Or did you ever? You probably didn't watch Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead. He was one of the main characters on Fear the Walking Dead.
Okay.
And he went regularly to being a bad guy, good guy, bad guy, good guy, all the way through. You could never trust him because he always stayed on that edge that you didn't know if you could trust him or not. Anyway, he's also apparently in Euphoria, which I didn't know.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting to me because Euphoria is another totally different TV show, but he's also a director. He directed a lot of the Fear the Walking Dead episodes, and they're usually the better ones. So that tells you a lot about who he is or what he is. He's very into the art of storytelling, and he's not just an actor. So it's kind of like I don't want to be just an actor.
Right.
I want to be a storyteller.
Right.
So it's kind of what do we got here? Angry couple go off on a guy for asking them to exit the bike lane. Oh, okay. So this guy. Oh,
ooh.
Okay. So this is okay, they're going out. Okay, I love these CCTV idiots. So that guy's mad because someone's in the bike lane. The guy's parked in the bike lane. So, I got to hear what he's saying. This is not planned. This is a... What the... But why do people have to park in the freaking bike lane?
Yeah, really.
It says no parking anytime. This sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's real life.
Right.
Oh, okay. So the white guy is the guy with the bike. Run him over. Well, okay, you shouldn't have touched his car.
No.
Oh, okay, so we got a disabled person here. What was that?
Now,
oh, okay, they're throwing stuff at him. Okay. All right. Well, that's odd.
Okay, obviously there was nothing.
I'm not really sure what that was all about, except that they were parked in the bike lane.
Now, if there was something wrong with the car, okay, I can understand. Maybe put their four-ways on.
Yeah.
I can understand.
People are weird. That's the bottom line.
Good night, Amy Sue. Amy Sue's
Oh,
nighty
don't
night.
leave. Oh.
Internet is being stupid. Gotta run.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. Okay, so that wasn't the reason we even were on that page. It just I love the CCTV stuff. It's so obnoxious sometimes that it's. I got some other ones later on that'll be really entertaining. Anyway, so the story was. It says Coleman Domingo shuts down toxics allegations. A lot of actors may not be up for the task. So it says here Coleman Domingo is defending Euphoria against reports claiming that the production of season 2 was toxic due to lengthy shoots and alleged mistreatment of actors. Now, a couple things that I will tell you from my perspective, being that I've been on set and I've been under some pretty weird situations. I've been lucky enough, though, that most of my sets have been haven't been too obnoxious. But because a lot of times you'll be told to be on set at 6 a.m. and they won't get to you till 6 p.m. You just sit around and do nothing. I don't know what his what we're talking about here. It says, but Domingo says him portrays recovering drug addict Muhammad Ali on Euphoria. Recently told the Independent that he did not have the same experience as the ones that stated in his reports, which emerged around the release of HBO series second season and rumors on set that are overblown. I'm not going to invalidate anyone's experience, but working in television is long hours. It absolutely is. So is modeling, because I've done photo shoots where I've sat and waited, and my call time was 8 a.m. They didn't take me until 6 p.m.
Ooh.
All I did was sit and sit and sit. You can't go get lunch. You can't do anything. You got to stay in that building, because when your time is up, you got to be there. You got to be ready. It's like a cattle call. You just got to be ready when they call your name. So I understand that, working long hours.
Now, could you pack something to eat?
Yeah, you can bring food.
Okay.
But it's a long day. I can tell you, all the photo shoots I've been in, a lot of the times I've had to wait unbelievable amounts of time. There are a couple times I actually got out reasonably quick, or reasonably, I should say not quick, it's never been quick, but reasonably during what I consider a reasonable amount of time. But most of the times, like when I went to the set of the 30 for 30 thing where I was the congressman, my role was only half an hour to an hour long of shooting. I was there all day until late at night, and it was getting dark. And I got there early. I got there not real early. I was like 10 a.m., but I was there for a good probably 8 hours. And my part was really very small compared to everybody else's part.
Right.
So, I mean, you got to worry. It looks all like glam and looks like you're getting paid a lot of money for doing very little, but you get paid a little money for doing a lot of waiting.
Now, I think something like behind the scenes like that I could do, but like I've done like high school stuff, like auditions for that, and I've never gotten to a big role, but the more I think about it, I don't know if I could do a big role like that because stage fright. How would you get over, have you ever had that? Or did you ever get over that? How would you get over that?
Okay, well, I'm a different bird, okay?
Right.
So my stage fright, I guess I got to go back to the very beginning. When I started college, I was going to be, my interest was theater, and my interest was music theory, and my interest was I wanted to do business I was looking at accounting probably as a major.
Right.
I got there and said, I don't want to be an accountant. I got there and I said, okay, after 3 days of acting, I don't want to be an actor, because I ended up doing children's theater, and I was like, I hated it.
Right.
I didn't like it at all, and I didn't like going to the acting classes. I was like, so you're saying that we're going to set up our, we had to bring things from home, and since I was living in a van at that point, my home was right there, and you had to act like you had to set up like a bedroom, and you had to pretend that nobody else was there, and you had to have your walls and stuff like that. And I thought, well, that's really stupid. And I didn't want to do that. And I was thinking, I don't get it. And I quit after 3 days. And I did children's theater, and Valsky and I were, we did the Golden Goose. And we were the guards at all three places, all three kingdoms, we were the guards. It's funny how they probably didn't even realize we were the same guards. But I thought, it's really not what I want to do. So I was scared to death of going out there. But what got me through it was shortly after that, I started my first band. And I started my first band. Now, I had a habit of opening my big mouth, okay, saying I could do things.
Right.
And I didn't know.
Right.
I'd never done them. And like one of the first things, my older brother decided he wanted to be a musician because I decided I wanted to be a musician. And he was learning bass, and I just wanted to sing. I didn't.
Right.
I thought, if I'm going to be on the stage, I want to be right up front.
Right.
I want it to be Elvis Presley. I want it to, whatever it was.
You
I
wanted
just
to be
had,
a big name.
I wanted. That's it. I didn't want to just play music. I wanted people to know who I was. Except that it sounds great in theory, but when you actually have to put up or shut up, that's when the fear kicks in. See, I could walk around and say, "Oh yeah, I'm a singer. I've been singing for years." Well, the thing is, he knew that I wasn't a singer, and he told his band he doesn't know what he's doing, and so they wanted to make me look like an ass. So they invited me up to play. Well, what do? Do I say no, or do I say, "Oh yeah, I'd be glad to do it"?
Right.
You just name when. Oh, now. Oh. Because they were trying to make an ass out of me, it made it harder, because I knew if I screwed up, I'm going to look bad.
Right.
Well, I picked two songs I know fairly well, and I went out there and I kicked ass. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was scared to death, and I just didn't know. I was up with really skilled musicians. My brother wasn't necessarily skilled, but the guitar player was. The drummer was really skilled. And I did the best I could do, and I couldn't tell if I did good or not. And I got down, and people came up to me and said, "Oh, that was great." From then on, it was okay, because people that didn't know me said it was good. Not people that knew me and liked me, people that don't know me. And of course, every once in a while in the beginning, I got... But the thing is, I had a thing that you can't back down once you said you're good at it, and you can't show the... You ever hear the "don't let them see you sweat"? That was the rule that I lived by.
Right.
And I never let them see me sweat. And even as I went the first couple of years, when I realized that I'm not as bad as I thought I would be, then the things that I had to do was I had to work on what I knew I had to work on, were singing techniques and stuff like that. But from then on, it was really kind of like fun. And people would say they're scared when they got up, and I don't understand that as much as I understand the fear of failing.
Right.
And that I had such a fear that I didn't want to show people my weaknesses. And I was always taught, to be a man, you can't show your weaknesses. Well, that's not true, but that always was what I lived by, and I couldn't show people that I was scared. And then as I got into more bands, I didn't get scared because I just was used to it. Then when I got into wrestling, I'm thinking I went through it all over again because I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
I only knew what I watched on TV. And the training I had was minimal. And when I went out there and did the stuff, I just mimicked what I remembered seeing and what used to make people. Well, I didn't want to be a bad guy, first of all.
Right.
And I wanted to be a good guy referee. I wanted to be Arnold Skolin because he was Bruno Sammartino's manager, and he was always a good guy, and everyone always cheered him. And I couldn't be that because there wasn't a place for that.
Right.
And eventually they turned me bad, and when they turned me bad, then I was terrified because I was like, well, then people are going to hate me. All my life, all I wanted was people to love me.
Right.
And now I'm trying to get people to hate me. That was a big problem with me because I couldn't make that transition right away. But as I went around finding my character, I was the playboy. That was really horrible. And as the Vital Idol started developing, when I found the Vital Idol Clancy Mike Trash, all of a sudden I found my stride. And then I had confidence every time I went out because I was in control. Once you're in control, it's okay. See, that's why I like being a singer. I'm in control. I'm in control of what the audience sees. And so as long as I keep doing that, as long as I have control, it's good. But if you go out there and you have to be a bad guy and you have to control the audience in the right way, that took a little while to get used to, and I had to get experience. What does that control entail? How far can I push them before I'm in trouble? And I push some people pretty far.
Well,
I mean,
I see like these, like The Voice or America's Got Talent or whatever, these shows, or even like, even in high school you got these musicals that you try out for or whatever. I would go and try out, and even just in front of the school board or whatever you want to, I'd kind of get nervous.
Oh, you're gonna
and I could never get over that stage fright. So I'd never get a big role in it, or like seeing The Voice or all these. I'd be like, oh, that would be so cool to do. Or even like the one bar that I used to go to up in State College, they held like it was in State College, so they called it State College Idol. Like I would love to be able to do that because I think I sing well, but then singing in front of everybody else, like it's what everybody else is like. That's where I would get nervous, and then I know I can't like sing.
I've been singing for 4 years, okay, and my voice is tired. I've been singing a long time, but the thing is, the difference between you singing and me singing. I believe in me. I believe in my voice. I believe.
Well, I've done karaoke there, and I would go to get up and do it, and then I would freeze. Like I freeze.
That's because you don't. The difference is that I've done it so many times, it's just another day. It's just, and because I've convinced myself that I am great.
Right.
Now, I
think maybe if I would do it more often, I would be able to do it.
It's what it is. And have you ever had anyone, I never had anyone that believed that I could do it. Pam believed I could do it, but I mean, Pam's probably the first one that believed that I can do it, as far as told me that she believed. And I didn't believe her because she has to say that. She was.
I mean, I sing along with them in the car.
Yeah, but that's not the same.
Right, and it's not. That's what I'm getting at. It's not. And then I'll be like, oh, I could try that. I try it without like a karaoke version, and then it kind of like it goes right out of me. Sometimes I can kind of do it if I know the song really well.
Believe me,
but it's a lot harder than people will think.
Yes, and people don't realize that karaoke is a lot easier than playing with a band.
That too.
Because you're always, when you do karaoke, you got the track, and the track's the same every time.
Right.
But you don't have to worry about the guitar player breaking a string or somebody forgetting their part.
Right.
Because it's always going to be the same.
Right.
When you're in a band, it becomes, all of a sudden you have to you have to know what to do when somebody screws
something
up.
happens. Yep.
And believe me, I've been in those situations, and I've had to cover for other people. And like, Rich is a great bass player. He's a great guitar player. But Rich is the only guy I've ever seen that broke bass strings while he was playing. And sometimes he would break when he usually played guitar when we were playing together, because I always wanted him as a guitar player.
Right.
I always told him, why are you playing bass? You should be playing guitar.
Right.
Because he's a great guitar player, but he wanted to play so bad, he'd play whatever he had to play. But sometimes, like if someone breaks a string and he doesn't, and if you don't have someone experienced that knows how to translate that into something else, or somebody forgot their part and you got to cover for them, and they have to cover for you.
Right.
And that happens, and you just got to stand up and do it. If you want it to be good at singing, you need to find some songs that are in your range, practice them, and then just do them. And the thing is with karaoke, the nice thing about karaoke is people are usually generally nice, and even if you suck, they clap.
Right.
Because I mean, I loved Shannon. I hated listening to her sing. She could not carry a tune, and she would go to I would go to see her at karaoke, because people would say, I'm going to be singing tonight.
Right.
Oh yeah, what are you singing with? The karaoke. I'm thinking, oh, that's not singing. Singing is like,
I mean, my dad could do it. I mean, I love my dad, but he couldn't carry a tune either, but I would do it. And I mean, I would go up with him and I would kind of like back him up on songs, like, so I'd sing with him, you know, but I could never just, I did, I think once pick out one song and I froze. So then what I did was, I'm like, okay, everybody, because like everybody was, I mean, they were still cheering me on. They saw that I was nervous. I'm like, all right, everybody, if you know the song, sing along with me. So then I got everybody singing along with me, and I finished it. So, and you know, they clapped afterwards, and they come up to me, they're like, hey, it's okay, you know, and stuff, and I'm like, thanks. Did I ever go up again? No, because I was humiliated, and I felt embarrassed. Because I got up there and froze. To me, that was me being humiliated. I got up there and I froze.
Oh, I see. Okay. We all froze. We've all frozen at one time. I've gone up and I've been, like in the early days, like I would forget the first word, or the first line, and if I forgot, if I could, I'd say, what was the first line of that song? They'd tell me the first line, like, oh, now I got it. But I wouldn't remember, and it would screw up the whole song.
Right.
So we all have been there.
Right.
And it's the same as anything else. You don't learn algebra by one problem. It's by repetition. And like acting scares me to a certain degree, but I'm getting better at it because I'm doing all these self-tapes. But memorization is a big thing. And if you don't memorize things, then you're going to be... Okay, the conversation you're having with me right now, you couldn't do that with memory, because we're doing this improv.
Right.
But if do you know the Star Spangled Banner?
Uh-huh.
Why do you know it?
Something I've heard for quite a while. It's something, repetitiveness, yeah. Hearing it repetitively, yeah.
So, am I going to get up and sing Bohemian Rhapsody after only hearing it one time? No. I'm going to practice that thing till I know it inside out and upside down and forwards and backwards. Same as, it's like anything else. If you put the work in, you will have the confidence. Do you know the Pledge of Allegiance? And how long have you known the Pledge of Allegiance?
Since I was young, because of elementary school reciting it every morning.
It's
repetitive.
Right, except they don't do it nowadays. But, you know, but the thing is, that's all any art is repetitiveness. You don't learn it overnight. You don't, I mean, some things you learn overnight, but you got to do the work. If you want to be the person, you've got to do the work. For me to do the singing, I've got to do the work. I've got to learn that song. Like the band from a couple weeks ago, I was banging my head like crazy trying to learn all these songs I didn't know. Now, have I ever heard them? Yeah, I've heard most of them. But even some of them I couldn't do no matter how many times I tried. Susie Q. Oh, Susie Q. Do-do-do-do. Oh, Susie Q. That's a simple song, but I couldn't do it.
Right.
You know why? Because I couldn't get the timing down, and it's stupid.
I'm
I
going to
couldn't
with you,
believe it.
Eminem.
Oh, I don't know anything about Eminem. but oh yeah, Eminem. But you know, the thing is, I didn't want to be good at Eminem because first off, I didn't have the time.
Right.
Because you'd have to listen to that a bunch of times to get that timing.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
And second off, the character, I don't want to think that I don't feel that that character was going to be good at it.
Right.
Because first off, he was white. Eminem was white, but he was a white, older male.
Right.
I don't see my generation really, I'm not saying that none of my generation, but most of my generation would not be good at that song.
Right.
Especially after hearing it, I was like, how does he say that? And I kept trying to mimic him. I couldn't do it. Not in that short period of time.
Right.
But then I thought, well, would he really know that song the right way?
Right.
He's mimicking it from his daughter listening to it. So that's the way I felt that I had to do. But for me to do that song right, it would have taken me a lot longer than I had to do that stupid thing. And I may not get that part, but I kind of liked doing it because it was funny. It made a comedy. And what did you do when you heard it? You laughed.
I did.
It was kind of funny. And, I know it did not sound good. And as a vocalist, I would have been embarrassed. But as an actor, I was okay with it because the character wouldn't have had that.
Right.
And the thing is, if you ever wanted to be a performer, you have things that I didn't have. You have me. I could coach you to do that stuff. Because even though I'm not as skilled at some things, I am skilled at some things.
Right.
And especially singing, I could help you with singing. And I could teach you the right way to sing, and that would give you confidence too. When you feel that you do something well, you're not afraid to show it. But if you're just a casual, like, oh, I sing every 6 months, I'll get up and do karaoke. That's not a singer.
No.
That's a person that wants to sing.
Right.
So, when you take those pieces of the puzzle and you put them together, you could be as good as you want to be.
Right.
But you can't be that way.
If you want it, you got to put in the effort.
Yes, you have to put in the work. It's like someone saying, I'm a natural actor. There is no such a thing as a natural actor. There are some people that it comes to them easier.
Right.
There are some people, but you're not going to take someone off the street and give them a script and have them, boom, be the person. And I'm not that person. I have to work. I have to put in the work. It's hard to do those self-tapes because it's gotten better because I've gotten better, but it's gotten better because I am persistent about learning this stuff. And I'm going to keep trying to be better at it because it's fascinating to me. If you put something together and it works, there's no better feeling. When you go and put a good performance together and you walk out of that room saying, wow, there's nothing better than that feeling. Even when I was in wrestling, when I had 2 guys try to climb in the ring to kill me, that was scary. But at the same sense, I did my job.
Right.
So if you achieve that goal, it becomes a whole different level of things. If I sang a song just because it was playing on the radio, but I don't add anything to that song, I don't make it sound as good or whatever, it's just a song. But if I add my touch to the song, it could be better or it could be worse.
I mean, even in like school and stuff, we had to get up and read like our papers in front of the class.
Oh, I'm horrible at that.
I froze, like I got nervous during that too.
But I'm not necessarily the greatest reader in the world, but lately I've noticed that my reading's gotten better on the air, and that's helped me off the air for some of my auditions. I did an audition. Oh, I do have an audition. I just thought of that.
Like Antoine, he can't read very well, but ever since he met me, like him and we text, and somebody pointed out to him, he goes, you guys text back and forth. He goes, yeah, sometimes we text more than we talk. He goes, you're reading right there. Whether he uses voice to text back or actually types it in, which 9 times out of 10 he's using voice to text, but one of his coworkers like, you're reading right there. So
I'm going to play this, and I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
I got to figure out where the rest of this. Yeah, that's not the question. Got to figure out where my earphone is. Okay, this is an audition I did yesterday.
Okay.
It was for a part for user-generated content position.
Okay.
So I want you to see this. It's not the greatest, but. So my name is Clancy Mike Trash. I'm 62, and I am based in Dalton, Pennsylvania. Here are my top 3 reasons why I like being a UGC creator. 1, I get paid to act and create in a professional environment. 2, it's a perfect opportunity to practice my skills like preparation, communication, and memorization. Finally, 3, I can be myself, and my personality shines through in every video. Start making UGC videos today. Okay. Was that memorized?
I would say no.
Was it obvious if it was memorized or not?
No.
I was reading.
Really?
Yeah. But I did familiarize myself with the script.
Mm-hmm.
And I only looked at it just kind of to make sure I was on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, they want you to memorize all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like with Bobby Finero, when he gave me an assignment, he gave me assignments that I would have to do that were about a minute to a minute and a half of memorizing. And I did the stuff, and when I was done, he was shocked how good it was.
Mm-hmm.
I had it set up so my camera looked like I was looking right at the camera,
right.
And I wasn't. And I had to be careful how I did it, and I fooled him every time.
Wow.
And the thing is, that's when I realized I got to be better at it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not going to be able to do that in live shows. I've got to really actually.
Yeah.
But I've gotten better at memorizing too. I did that script 3 times before I got that copy.
Oh wow.
The first 2, I didn't like what I did, and I try to make it go and flow, and I try to make it show my personality.
Right. Yeah.
And my personality isn't, I'm just going to talk like this.
Right.
That's not me. So that makes my life a little better, is that I am not.
And I think that's what they want also, is to see that personality.
They want the personality. Right. They don't care. They don't care if I read this or not. They care that it looks natural.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for a movie set, you got to be a little more prepared.
Now, with what you read, did you make that up your own?
No, that's theirs.
That's theirs. Because I think if, like, say you make it up your own, like, if you have to make something up your own, I think that helps with memorization, because okay, I'm going to write this up. I know what I'm going to say, so you know what you're saying. I think that helps also, so that when you do it, you're, okay, I know what I'm saying. I know what I wrote. Something like that, where you don't know what.
The script for Youngest Partisan, I did not read, but it was easy stuff. Actually, it was kind of improv, because it kind of told me what I had to say, and we did it a line at a time because they didn't give us the script. Mm-hmm. Now, some of the scripts Winder didn't have a script for me because there were no words, just actions, so that was easy. The one, Let's Call a Taxi, that took me, they gave us the script that day, and we had to memorize it on the spot, and so I memorized it by line, and I kept the words out, and sometimes I would do a thing like this, and I'd scan down at the script, and I knew where my pages were in the order, and I do it that way. And some people had to really memorize, because some people had long stuff to read. Mine were all short. And with the agency, I had stuff that was a little bit harder because I had to memorize. There was some of the stuff I had to memorize that was, but I didn't have a lot of lines like some of the other people did too. So now the stuff that I wrote for myself is a little easier because I get like the script that I want to do this weekend. That is the, I think we're going to call that, that has a name change. It's going to be called Flock.
Okay.
So the new name of that is going to be Flock. But it's kind of cool because if I get to do that this weekend, I can break the script up so that nobody has to memorize it.
Right.
And so if I do, like, cut the camera at a certain spot, change it to a different thing, and do all that. I'm very excited about that and scared about that, too, because I'm working with 3 actresses that have not done anything, and myself, which has done very little directing. I've done, like, it's a big project for someone that has the experience I have, but it'll be a bigger success if we pull this off. So, and it all depends on if we're all there and able to do it at the same time, because we have the place, because we've got the Airbnb, and 3 girls might be there. I know 2 girls will be there. The third one is still, we don't know yet. I'm hoping she does make it, because if she makes it, that could be so awesome.
Right.
I'm very psyched about it, but scared at the same time, because I don't know that I know what I'm doing enough to get it done. But, again, it comes down to, how much work you want to put in it. Right. You want to put a lot of work in it, you could be as good as you want to do. And I'm learning that the hard way, and I'm also learning that by doing these self-tapes, by doing the radio show, I'm better at my craft in all ways, because I didn't realize it at first, but when I was reading stuff, there were a lot of ums and ahs, and I've cut down on those because I'm learning to pace myself a little better, and a little different because of the auditions. So, it's a really a big adventure, and when I'm dealing with people like Bobby Finero, who's a real actor, he's a theater actor, and he was on The Sopranos, and he's done, I remember, The Irishman, I think was the other one he did that was pretty big. He does legitimate acting. I've learned a lot from him, but it's really a matter of how much you're willing to do, how much you're willing to put into it. If you want to be a good singer, well, then you got to start singing, and you got to start singing regularly. My first band I put together with 3 really good people, and I was the weakest link. And my second band, I wasn't the weakest link. The third band, I was the weakest link again. And Ken and I, we were both weak links, and we put together something big. So, it's just one of those things that I feel like I was the weakest link for the biggest part of our journey, but it took me a while to get him to step up to the plate to do what he needed to do too. And once he started stepping up, I was way behind, because he was a really good musician, and I was definitely holding us back. So the thing is, though, I appreciated everything he did, and the patience he gave me to be as good as I was. And I think if he were alive today, we would have done a lot of really good, cool stuff. So, but it was time for us both to have a change, and his change was a little more permanent than mine. Okay.
We keep going off track. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind. No, those are things that are important. So the Euphoria thing was people were talking about the waiting times and all that stuff that you had to go through, and I can relate to it. This one is really cool. Ozzy Osbourne. So Ozzy Osbourne said he hopes to perform one last show, and health concerns at best, I've got 10 years left. Now, he's in his 70s.
Right.
So 10 years, I would be happy with that.
Dolly Parton just played at the on Thanksgiving, the halftime.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I didn't see it, but I heard it was.
I saw it, and she didn't really move much. They had the star. She was in Dallas Cowboy cheerleader outfit, and I mean, they had the cheerleaders dancing it down front, but they had a star, I guess, in the middle or whatever, and she kind of went like the star. I'm gonna call it the feet of the star, because the 2 points at the bottom.
Okay.
She just kind of walked back and forth from them, but she held on to it when she got close to that side. She kind of held on to that and sang up into the audience, or she turned around and sang back to them people. So I did see that. So I mean, obviously she's not. She's like 77, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say she's close to 80.
Yeah.
So to be performing at that age, and I heard she did like some things with a bunch of musicians that are not country, and I don't know if it was in that or not, but she was on Howard Stern recently.
She sung. What else songs did she sing? She sung "We Are the Champions,"
Yes.
"We Will Rock You."
Yes.
She did 9 to 5 and Jolene. Those are the 4 songs she did.
She's been doing, but she did an album recently with a bunch of people that are not country, and I found that really interesting.
Yeah.
And she's actually, I want to not like her, but I can't. I can't not like her because she's not. There's nothing unlikable about her. She's very charitable, and
Here, actually, I'll just turn this around to show you. But right here she is, and as you see, she's holding on right there. Like this is what she did. She held on. She didn't have a microphone. She had like an earpiece microphone thing, and that's how she did it. That's how she did her full performance.
But she's looking good for a girl in her late
77.
70s,
Yeah.
That's very cool. I gotta give her kudos because she has been doing this for a long time, and she does things like lets people use her songs and stuff.
Yeah.
And, and she goes and does things with other people, and I just think that that's really cool that she doesn't have that ego and stuff. And she's certainly she could have retired a long time ago, and she doesn't have to. She can do whatever she wants. And
I heard she's really nice outside.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She's one of the people that didn't forget where she came from. One of the few people. And I think that's really cool. And, like I said, I tried to not like her, but...
She'll be 78. Yeah, 78, January 19th. That's when she was born. The other person that's... I don't even know how old she is Judd. Winona?
Oh, Winona?
Yeah.
Judd?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's on The Voice. She was their mega mentor this season.
Okay.
And so the mega mentor means she got to sit with all 4 coaches, meet all the contestants, and kind of give her feedback on them at whatever point of they were at in the contestant. I'm not sure if it was knockouts or what it was, but I mean, a lot of people when they walked in and saw her were shocked, but also were, I want to say, humbled at the same time because of how long her and her mother have been in music, especially now. Blake Shelton used to be the country music artist that was on there, but now this was the first year that Reba McEntire was on there. So.
Well, I'll tell you, there's some good talent there. You just mentioned, but the mother killed herself, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember. I thought that was right. I thought it was the mother. And that was really a tragic thing, too.
I mean, we saw, Mom and I saw the Judds and Reba in concert. And I mean, Wynonna, you could even, you could tell Wynonna was in some pain on her concert. But that's the other thing there, too. You could see she was in pain.
Right.
But you couldn't, I don't want to say you couldn't tell, but you could. But she didn't say anything about it.
Right.
She got through it. And then her performance, she was on the CMAs with Jelly Roll, and when she walked out, she was holding on to his arm. Again.
Okay, speaking of Jelly Roll, I never heard that guy's name ever until probably 2 weeks ago. And I was like...
I've never really listened to a whole lot of his music either, but...
But, anyway, this guy showed up at WWE Live last night.
Okay.
It was part of the, I guess, part of the action. He was in the front row, and he hit... Who was he? I'm trying to remember who was in the... I can't remember but he got involved with one of the matches. But I never heard of him before a week or so ago, and this name, I was like, what? What's Jelly Roll? And actually, was it an audition or something that I saw his name? I forget what it was that I saw his name, and I was like, what is a Jelly Roll? And I realize now why he's called Jelly Roll, because he's a really big guy. But
yeah.
Here's
the picture of her. See how she was holding on to him.
Oh, okay. He is really big.
Yeah, he is.
He's as big as I was a long, long time before you knew me. So, oh, good. They did get my script in. Thank you. I can get it tonight then. I just need that before I leave to. That's the one thing holding me up to go to New York is my refill. Mm-hmm. So good, they did get it in.
But that's the thing. She didn't. I mean, yes, it was getting to her, and that's the other thing I think. And like acting and stuff like that, you may be hurting, but you can't really let it known or shown and sometimes it is hard.
Yeah, but that was sad that she had died under those circumstances. Message too. Okay. All right, so this came up, and I'm kind of curious as to whether or not I want to watch this. Mother of the Year Idiot Award. Do we want to see it before we go to this next article?
Okay.
You might want to. Oh, you have your phone on.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to see, so it might be something pretty bad. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to get in trouble for the music. I can tell that right now. I got to figure out how can I do this. I got to cut
the down in the corner.
Because I don't need any hammered from the YouTube people. Okay. Now we got to do it in sound. What in the world? What are we doing?
They're just driving.
Must be in England because look on the.
Yeah.
Okay, he's driving.
He's driving, jamming the music.
Everybody's and that girl's.
Holding a baby?
Yeah, so not... What, she freaking in a bikini? I don't think I'd hold my baby in a car. In fact, is that legal? Is that even legal?
I don't know.
I know when I...
So.
Okay, so what's going on? You going to hit anybody? Something? What's going on here? What is the reason that it's on the idiots on YouTube thing?
There's motorcycles in front of it.
Yeah. I would love to figure out what it is that we're going to see.
And they're getting awful close.
Yes. Why do we have two views? And why does that girl think she can sing? Oh, it's over. That's it? That's it? What happened? I don't see the reason other than the fact that should not be holding her baby in the front row, because if you get, and I don't even know that she has a belt on, a seat belt on.
No.
I want to see that. Well, they had the whole thing. What that? I don't understand people. All right.
Unless maybe it was something to the music that
Well, that's
we
the
missed.
mother of the year, because she had no seatbelt
really.
on. Oh, people. You know, I didn't wear seatbelts till I got my Tesla. And I started wearing the seatbelts. Now and actually it's funny because I would never wear a seatbelt in anybody else's car either.
Mm-mm.
And I thought,
I do and I don't. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Like I did on the way up here today. My actual seatbelt buckle in my car, the passenger side is fine. The driver's side is, I mean, it still buckles, but it's not all there. And
all right, here's the Ozzy Osbourne thing. So Ozzy says, let's see, he says, Ozzy shared thoughts of his future and his declining health, revealing that he thinks he's only got 10 years left. He's 74. So if he has 10 years, he's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
In the Rolling Stone cover story published Friday, he opened up about his health following his February announcement that he was retiring from touring because of the ongoing problems with his spine, which he injured 4 years ago. Since then, Osbourne's had 4 surgeries, the last of which he told the outlet virtually left me crippled. See, that's why I don't want to get my back surgery, because I have that scoliosis. And they screw that up, you're done. There's no coming back from it if they screw it up.
Right.
So it says here, since then, he says it knocked me out. The second surgery went drastically wrong. And I thought, you know, I could help him. I do crazy training. I do a couple of some songs. It's pretty rough, and my balance is all fucked up. So, and you know, he never really moved around a lot in the stage anyway. Just put him on a pole. But yeah, I totally
put a big object next to him and let him hold on to it.
Put Jelly Roll next to him. That's a big object.
Yeah.
It says here he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
Put a big train by.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A crazy train.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is, he gets Parkinson's, he's 74. What about Michael J. Fox, who got it at, you know, in his 20s?
Right.
That fucking sucked. Oh, sorry. That sucked. Wow.
I didn't hear anything.
I said trucking.
Yeah.
But that just, I feel bad for him, but there's got to be a reason for it. I mean, him being at the point that he was in his life, it opened up everyone to finding out what it was. What is Parkinson's? Well, now we know. Susan Sarandon's son asks that her mother, please stop looking at my mother's boobs. I got to tell you my Susan Sarandon story. The first time I took notice of Susan Sarandon, it's kind of embarrassing. First time I noticed her boobs was the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay.
Because she strips down into her underwear. And I remember the first time I saw her boobs, and I said, wow, those are some nice boobs. And it makes me feel old that her son is pleading her to stop showing her boobs off. And it makes me even older to think that her son is old enough to complain about that. But you know, the thing is, she's got to be in her 70s too, I would think. Let's see if we know. Let's see. I'm grateful to see people on Twitter defending my mom against blacklisting. Can you please stop showing the clip of her getting her hair done with her honkers out? I mean, for a woman in
totally bad, but yet I understand too.
I don't know how old she is. I'm looking here. To see
I'm going to try and look it up here. What's her name again?
Susan Sarandon. I think she's got to be in her 70s, but I can't swear to it because I think. Oh, isn't that? Oh, how did I do that? There we go. All right. On October, okay, so her agents were so angered by her statement. Says, I'm grateful to see people on Twitter defending my mom amidst the new era of McCarthyist blacklisting, but can you please stop using the clip of her getting her hair done with her hunkers out? On the 12-second clip, the actress seen sitting in a chair wearing a bra that barely covers her boobs, and one supporter of an ex remarking, Susan Sarandon, uncompromised and absolutely thriving.
Okay, what'd you say you guessed her age was?
I am going to say 71.
But what'd you say before that?
I said mid-70s.
You better stick with that.
Really?
77.
Wow.
October 4th,
See, I don't understand.
1946.
You know, when I was a kid, I remember my grandmother being old, and she was only probably in her 50s. Mm-hmm. And when I was in my 40s, I wouldn't date a girl in her 50s. When I was in my 30s, when I was 25, I dated a girl 14 years older than me. That was Nancy. And I was with her for a couple of years. And then when I was in my 30s, I didn't mind dating a girl 45 or maybe up to 50. Then as I got 50 or 40, well, I was married, so I couldn't really date too much.
Mm-hmm.
And women really frown upon that. If you're dating, if you're married, you should probably stick with the person that you're married with. Just a piece of information. Oh, I'm sorry, you're married yet. That's right. How old is she?
Who?
Susan.
77.
I don't understand. Back to what I was talking about. My grandfather, he was like a little old man. He was like probably in his 50s. I don't understand. I mean, when I was in my 50s, I felt like I was in my late 30s, maybe early 40s. When I was in my early 40s, I thought I was apparently 25 because that's when I started wrestling.
And that's what I wanted to say. Winona's 59, so
Okay.
That's why.
I don't understand what happened to the world that these people are. Either the people are looking younger to me, or they're really looking younger to everybody, but I don't think Susan looks that bad. I mean, I would date her. I mean, if I was single. Here's the Disney thing that I said about latest animation flick Wish flops at the box office. Yeah, it's really surprising to me that I don't know if it's because parents aren't taking their kids to the movies, or maybe because this time of year, I think it's got to be people are afraid of the economy. I'm thinking, what are you thinking? I mean, you're in the age group that has kids that are young enough that would want to see that.
I mean, I always like watching any Disney movie. Because
I like
Disney
animated movies.
Yeah. And that's because, also, I grew up on Disney. I mean...
Right. Well, yeah.
That's why I want to watch it. But, I mean...
They've got the market on that, too, on the animated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the quality of it is unbelievable. It's weird to think that movie didn't do anywhere near what it should have done. Now, I think that still, like I said, I think that between COVID still being around and people not going to movies because of streaming, I think that's really what happened to the whole world. But I don't know that for sure. But it's really strange. Anyway, that's just an article on that. The next thing was Tiffany Haddish. Do you hear about her problems?
I heard something was going on with her.
She got arrested for DUI.
Yeah.
She was sitting at I think she was parked, and they arrested her for DUI. And here's the thing that I think is funny. She addressed her new DUI in a stand-up set. First, she had her prayers answered. Do you know what her prayers were?
What?
It's really bad. It's something I would have said. Of course, I don't drink, so I'm never going to get to say it. But she said that she. Hold on here. Let me post this. Come on. All right. So in her stand-up routine, she goes. She got up in front of the crowd and cracks jokes. Less than a day after getting arrested for DUI, and then she was asked about it point blank. Someone asked her about being arrested, right. And she responded. Gotta find it. Funny. She responded. Where is it? Take a listen. Oh, we could actually listen to it.
Oh,
listen to her talking about it. This is her stand-up routine.
Game.
Oh, that sounds like a game.
You're not ready for it.
I am not.
Great stand-up.
Thank you very much. Okay, what's going on now? That's not what I wanted. Try this again. Okay, we're not being able to hear what you said.
Yeah.
Okay, what she basically said. Okay, we're not going to be able to hear it. I'm assuming you can't hear it any better. Okay, well, anyway, so it says, talked about her being led away in handcuffs on Friday. Tiffany doesn't cop to anything, including the alleged DUI, but she does say her prayers were answered for a man in uniform. She always wanted to go with a man in uniform, and she got to do that now. So I just wish that I wanted to hear her say it, but
right.
But we couldn't understand what she said. So
who wouldn't like a man in uniform?
Yeah. Well, I don't like a man in uniform. There's nothing I want as far as men in uniform. Here's a really interesting thing, and I don't know if it'll be interesting to you, but it was last night? Saturday. Saturday there was a pay-per-view.
Okay.
And it was a WWE pay-per-view.
Uh-huh.
And CM Punk returned.
Oh.
And I was told it would be a cold day in hell before he ever returned to WWE. And he not only returned, but the only people that knew he was returning were two people. Nick Khan, who is one of the officers at WWE,
right,
and Triple H are the only two people that knew. And in fact, he came out at the end of the pay-per-view, and it was a surprise to the whole crowd. The whole crowd just popped.
Right.
They loved it.
I bet.
And one person that didn't love it was Seth Rollins.
Okay.
And he was saying F you. He was giving him a finger. He just flew off the rails. He did not want
why?
Because CM Punk is a virus.
Gotcha.
Okay. He is not easy to work with. And when he left WWE, he left WWE with a lot of controversy.
Gotcha.
And he refused to come back, and they didn't want him back, and and he hasn't been in a wrestling ring for 10 years, and then he went to AEW and hung out, and he caused all kinds of controversy there. Mm-hmm. He left AEW and came back to WWE. Now WWE, I hate to admit it, but it's the right thing.
Right.
Because he's right now probably the hottest name in wrestling because of all the controversy.
Yep.
Even though it's not usually good controversy. So I guess we're going to have to wait to see what happens. But right now there's a lot of unhappy people with him.
Side note, talking about a man in uniform.
Okay.
I did talk to a man that wears a uniform.
Oh, yeah? What kind of uniform?
A CO uniform.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I wished him a happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where you're going with it. I thought, okay, what'd you do wrong?
I didn't do anything wrong. I wished him a happy Thanksgiving. He did the same. He asked how I was doing, and I said I was good. I asked him how he was. He said good. He's trying to move out of state, go to Maryland, Baltimore area, and I said okay. He asked if I still worked at Panera. I said yes. He said okay, good. And that was basically about the extent of our conversation. Very nice conversation.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds like it's decent. Mm-hmm. Oh, I started to tell you about a scammer.
Oh, yeah. You said you had a scammer.
Okay, so I don't know remind me when I tell you about this, if I started this last week or if I just started that last week. So I get an email from a casting director.
Yes.
Okay.
You said that you weren't sure if it was fake or not, and then you
I found out that it was.
So you said you were going to say,
send
me this check.
So she sent me a message today.
Okay.
So this is the update to the question or the statement. Mm-hmm. She sent me, let me see here. Oh, and I got another one too from another person, but we'll get to that one. Where's it at? I didn't get to do any of my listings today because I got sidetracked by a lot of crap. Here it is. Hi, Mike. I will send you more details as we approach the audition dates. Focus on Uncle Tarek role on Backstage. And she didn't initially contact me from Backstage. She contacted me from IMDb, she says. Right. Please send in your full name. Well, my full name is Mike Trash. How much more do you need? Anyway, so in the meantime, I decided to click the link onto Backstage and find out what Uncle Tarek is, because it's spelled UNCEL, Tarek, TARIQ. Okay, it's a Muslim role. That's what I'm getting at. Actually, let's see if I can do this. How can I do this?
This is probably going to be very interesting.
Let's spell it right now. Backstage. There we go. Good. So I looked at that, and I thought, okay, let's see what checking Backstage is. Secret. Come on, I've been on that freaking thing forever. Come on. All right. Sign in.
Nick, Disney, Netflix, HBO. Okay.
Well, this is a casting that I've got all my jobs on so far.
Okay.
I haven't gotten any jobs on any of the other ones I'm on. Only on this one. So let me see if I did this. Wait here. What's this? Okay. So, this Uncle Tarek, I read the description. He's Muslim.
Okay.
Do I look Muslim?
Totally. Sorry.
I mean, I don't even look a little like a Muslim. So, like, I don't. And she this time she linked the page, the web page of the other person, so that it looks like it's coming from her. Really, I thought that was really
Smart
interesting.
can you be?
Well, I mean, I guess you can actually fool some people, but I think that it's really bizarre to, and don't think I can search for this. Do I have anything you can search? Do I have any? Does it let me? And so anyway, so I looked at Uncle Tarek, and he's a Muslim, and I really don't think my skin complexion or hair or anything.
Spray tan.
Yeah, I guess so. So why would she, and this company that she linked me to was the real person's website. So if they had done that in the beginning, I wouldn't have questioned it.
Right.
Email address is still the CSS one that isn't real. CSS groups. And the other thing that was interesting is that your company is based on getting work for Muslim people. Not that I think there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
But why would you pick a white guy that's totally, there's nothing Muslim about me, to play a role of a Muslim guy, and even the other characters like your sister and all that, they're all Muslim. I would really stand out like a sore thumb. Now, if this were a story about a white man who was adopted by a Muslim family or something like that,
right,
that would make sense, but it doesn't make sense at all.
Or married into a...
Yeah, so that's one scammer. Another scammer is presently on Facebook, and she's been... she said, send me a picture. And I said, well, I got pictures on my page. Just go look at my pictures. Well, send me a selfie. And I'm like, I sent her a couple pictures from my page. She goes, well, why aren't you sending me a selfie? I said, why would I send selfies when I have pictures of me on my page? And she asked me a couple times if I'm single. Now, on Facebook, I am single because I can't catch scammers if I'm in a relationship. And so I never tell people that I'm in a relationship.
I mean, you can, but...
I don't. I when I'm on the air here, I tell people who I am. But and people that know me know I'm in a relationship. But scammers, they don't read anyway because it says I'm widowed. And so, but she just asked me just a few seconds ago, am I in a relationship or am I married or something? And she's asked me this 3 or 4 times. And she's like 20-something, and she's interested in me. What 20-year-old is interested in a man 3 times her age? I know there are some out there, but few and far between.
Seriously.
Like Rich married a girl who's quite a bit younger than him. Okay, I understand that. They've been together for a long time. And
Christine, I don't exist yet.
Yeah, she doesn't exist yet. Except on Trash Talking Radio. But this woman is like, I can't understand why people, first off, people like constantly will say, what are you doing? What's your reason for being here? Like, well, what are you asking? Well, are you single? I said, well, why does it matter? It's not a dating site.
Right.
I'm here for business.
I mean, Facebook has a dating
Yeah,
site,
I
but
mean-
it's not even like...
I mean, it initially, if you
Yeah.
know how Facebook was started, it was started because of dating or eyeing up women. You know, it was Facebook was meant for guys to look at women, and it just turned into something that was totally different. They didn't have a social platform. The only social platform was MySpace. They killed MySpace. I'm surprised they haven't killed themselves by now because you know there are other platforms that people go to. And
I'm only here for the dog and money.
yeah, pretty much.
Actually, talking about Facebook getting, that's actually where I met Antoine.
Okay. I met Antoine at Monica. Actually, did I meet him there? Or is that did I drop you off and meet? I don't think you ever talked.
No,
to
you
him.
met him there because he changed her lock that day.
Was that the first time I met him?
I do believe so.
No, I think I dropped you off, and I think.
Oh, yeah.
But we really didn't
Yeah.
talk. We didn't
No.
meet each other. We saw
No,
each other.
yeah. That wasn't the... No, yeah. You've dropped me off a few times at home, but it was never it was just a quick, hi, have a good night thing. It was not an actual talk. The first time you guys actually talked was at my mom's house.
Yeah, that's when I realized that he's a cool guy. So, I don't know. All right.
Christine, I am so shallow.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to be. And since I'm not, that makes her shallow. I guess we could probably wrap it up here. Especially since it's not working. Come on.
Except for us, we've been going off on tangents we didn't get.
That's okay. I didn't have a lot written. Oh, you didn't get to see any of the videos that I had. I can use them for next week. Yeah, I got to figure out why the thing didn't update this week, too.
Huh.
That really was weird.
Yeah.
Where is let's see. There. Oh, this one actually. Do you know who Derek Chauvin is?
No.
Okay. Do you remember the cop that killed the one guy by standing on his neck a couple of years ago?
It
was a big deal. I know
sounds
you
familiar.
know about it. Anyway, he went to prison for doing that.
Okay.
Anyway, so his mother's upset because in prison he got stabbed. That's the officer there, the former officer. So he got stabbed and nobody said anything about it. And she didn't know. The mother didn't know that her son got stabbed in prison. So she's really upset.
I mean, I can see being
I think that she should have been told too.
Yeah.
I think that he should not be in with the other prisoners because he was a cop.
Right.
And that's going to lead to bigger problems.
Yeah, that's probably why he got stabbed.
It is why, I'm sure it
Yeah.
is. So I can understand her being upset about that.
Yeah, I agree.
She says the identity, it says the mother of the cop who murdered George Floyd. Okay, there you
Yeah,
go.
okay, yeah,
I
okay, that's
couldn't
what I
remember his
thought. I thought you were talking about George
Yeah.
Floyd, but I didn't want to say...
Says how the hell do these news agencies know, and his own mother doesn't even know. She adds the prison had an emergency contact number, her number, but no one called. And honestly, you can't feel sorry for him because he killed a man. So if he got stabbed, at least he's still alive. George isn't alive.
Right.
So she went on to say, I can't even think what to say. I haven't been to bed and made a path in my kitchen and my living room by pacing. Well,
Unless did he die, actually,
he's
from
still
getting
alive.
stabbed?
His attorney said he got involved and tried calling the prison for information and hasn't heard back. So the attorney couldn't even get the information. And it says another lawyer of his slammed prison officials for its radio silence. It appears to be indicative of a poorly run facility and indicates how Derek's assault was allowed to happen. And he added how the family members who were in charge of Derek's decisions regarding his personal medical care, and his emergency contact were not informed of the stabbing. Further indicates the institution's poor procedures and lack of institutional control. I mean, I feel bad for him, but it is what it is. And now, there is a funny part to this. It says was stabbed in federal prison in Arizona, where he was serving a 21-year sentence after pleading guilty to a federal charge of violating Floyd's civil rights. So the bizarre, strange thing that is even...
Okay. I don't know now.
What?
I guess I want to say that I see where maybe they... why they didn't tell her. Because, I mean, if it was... depending on how severe the stab was it an actual stab that was, like, threatening? Was it just a stab that...
It says prison doctors performed life-saving measures on Chauvin, and there have been no...
Okay, then yes. That changes things.
Yes.
Then yes. She should have been told.
Yes.
Yeah.
She said all her information is on his account.
Yes.
And I think that's sad that they didn't... I don't have any... I don't feel real bad for him being stabbed, though.
Right.
But still, he should have...
I don't feel bad either for him being stabbed, but I feel that she should have known.
Yes. And along with that, there's... So he's in jail for 21 years. The sad thing is when he gets out, he's not going to be able to work in law enforcement anymore.
Of course not.
I don't think that there's any reason they even have to put that up there. Like, he can't even be in a security guard at a hotel or anything.
No.
He's not allowed to do any work. And we're talking about 21 years from now. 21 years from now, there could be zombies. There's really... Why do we care about 20 years from now? He's going to be in jail for a long time, and he's
right.
And let's worry about that when he gets out. Let's worry about giving him some kind of education for a new life. Right. I wouldn't put him in a restaurant either. He might choke out one of the patients or one of the clients. I don't know. I just think it's funny that would even came up.
Right.
Says Derek can't return to law enforcement after he serves his prison sentence, and he can't even be a rent-a-cop at least for 5 years when he's on supervised release. So even after his 21 years, he has another 5 years of supervised.
Oh, wow.
Which means he's probably, when you think about it, let's say he's 40. He's going to be 60 when he gets out.
Right.
I don't think he's going to be too dangerous then. I don't know. Anyway, on that note, we can actually finish it up, wrap it up. Oh, I should do this one. Disneyland, It's a Small World, Streaker. I hope he had... I hope it wasn't a small world for him, but if it was, he probably wouldn't be a streaker. I never knew how people could streak. I mean, yeah. I've always been heavy, so I didn't really want people looking at my body. But the whole streaking thing. Actually, that was before you were born. Streaking, that was a big deal then. For some reason, people felt that they should have the right to be naked in public. But in this case, this is a kid's world. I wouldn't want to be streaking around little kids. But we've obtained a video showing the 26-year-old streaker being swiftly carried away from It's a Small World ride by police, all while hog-tied and completely nude. They had the blanket out on the screen. And They attempted to cover the man with a blanket as they covered him through the park. I mean, what gets in these people? I mean, I can't even... I don't understand why somebody wants to streak through It's a Small World. I mean, hopefully he's not small.
Yeah.
That's just crazy stuff that happens in this world. All right. We've done enough damage today. See, I didn't have any problem getting through the material, and I still have stuff left over. It's a small world after all. Yeah. That's freaking weird. All right. Yeah, I've only got 3. Yeah, we actually did well, because there's only 3 articles left, and then the videos that I found that were interesting.
So we did pretty good.
Yeah.
Even though we went off on many tangents.
Yes. Well, next week, I don't even know what the show's going to be like, because I'll be half awake. Or half asleep. One of those two. Or both. And usually that's some of the more interesting shows when I can't.
Yeah, very true.
I don't censor my talking because I'm too tired. So I'll have these ready for. There's some pretty good clips in those. They're short clips, but they're really funny.
Okay.
So I can save them for next week. So because I don't know what I'll be talking about or where I'll be talking or how long I'll be talking before I fall asleep. So and then I'll probably jam the next day. So
fun.
Usually it takes me a long time to recover from these things, though. So, all right. I guess it's time to go. Let's see. I guess I got this one here. Yeah, this should be it. There's the other one.